This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Can you say 3P? Union Scotties, WPIAL champions.
The New Shannock Lancers are PIAA Class 2A state champions once again.
Swing and a miss. The Union Scotties. It's double gold for the County of Champions.
Wilmington, your District 10 1A champ.
Makes the catch. That will do it. Mohawk, back to back. Go celebrate.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
There he is. Left corner for three. He's the now all-time leading scorer.
Palmer McCain makes the catch. Somehow the adjustment, and he is going to take it to the house.
Francis Monitis works through Ritson. Has a chance. Score!
Off the tip of the glove of the first baseman, Benedict. Actually recovered. And did they get her? They did!
He has wide open. Dave McKnight gets the touchdown.
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet. Coming to you live from the County of Champions High School Playoff Football here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. As tonight we kick off the 2025 WPIAL Football Playoffs. 4 broadcasts tonight. Yes, a quartet here at lcsportsnet.com. Tonight's broadcasts are brought to you by MVP Insurance, by UPMC Orthopedic Care, by Maley Chiropractic, by Castle Asphalt, by Medora Bonner Law, by Nick's Auto Body, The Red Zone, Parada Jones McCree, Dorn Concrete, Gem Builders Incorporated, the Newcastle Transit Authority, Luxembourg Garbutt Kelly and George, Pontius Insurance, Joseph's Marketplace, the Crane Room Grill, Sims Cafe, Works in Progress Paint Services, the City Rescue Mission, the Tri-County Principals Association, and of course, the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Welcome again to our Castle Asphalt pregame show, the 11th week of the year. Hey, Castle Asphalt, they've been in the paving and construction business nearly 20 years, using top-of-the-line equipment and resources, guaranteeing that your job is done correctly and efficiently. Innovative methods combined with years of experience. 4 games on tap for us here tonight. Class 1A you can watch for free here at lcsportsnet.com. The 8-9 matchup, Leechburg hosting Neshannock in that 8-9 game. Again, free to watch here at lcsportsnet.com. You can also watch games on the NFHS network. Class 2A's 8-9 game between Mohawk and Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, and also the big Parkway rematch in Class 4A as Newcastle hosts Montour. You can listen to both those games here for free at lcsportsnet.com. You can also get a free audio feed, audio-only game for the first-round game between the Laurel Spartans and Jefferson Morgan in Class 1A. We'll send you out for kickoff of those games here at the top of the hour. What a great year it's been for our county teams. 6 of the 8 teams still in the playoffs. Wilmington on a bye tonight. Riverside kind of adopted team. They're also in the playoffs. A great, great year for regular season football in the Tri-County area. Before we kick off our pregame show with our previews of tonight's games, we've got some awards we have to give out on this happiest of Halloweens. Yes, we hope we'll be treats and not tricks for the teams tonight in Lawrence County, but we've been a treat to watch some of these teams and some of these players over the past month. So let's get right into it with our Red Zone Athlete of the Month. The female athlete of the month for October is Lindsay Hoover of Wilmington. Lindsay finished 4th in the District 10 Golf Championships a couple of weeks ago, and then placed 12th overall in the state championship. So congratulations, Lindsay Hoover of Wilmington, the Red Zone Female Athlete of the Month. For the Red Zone Male Athlete of the Month, Neshannock's Zayden Herb. He became the first soccer player in Lawrence County to score 100 career goals, leading the Lancers to the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. Zayden also scored 6 goals in an upset win in the first round over Springdale. Congratulations, Zayden Herb, the October Male Red Zone Athlete of the Month. And finally, your LCAP Team of the Month. Lots of great options here for the October month. That Neshannock team, historic run. Wilmington volleyball and boys soccer both getting district silver medals earlier this week. Newcastle and Laurel football both are conference champions. But your October LCAP team of the month is the Mohawk girls volleyball team. Yes, Lady Warriors secured not only their first section title in program history, but also the program's first ever playoff victory as well. So congratulations to Coach Anna Fadden and the Mohawk Warriors volleyball team, the LCAP team of the month here in October. So which team will make a run possibly towards a November team of the month award, but more importantly maybe towards district gold as well? Well, we're going to find out in just a few moments' time. About 20 minutes to kickoff. We'll be back in a moment ourselves to break it down. All 4 games we'll have on the air tonight. Back in a moment. The pregame show continues here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Calling all sports fans. Never miss a moment with real-time alerts, keeping you in the loop when your favorite teams are playing.
Get instant updates sent straight to your phone with game schedules, changes, and all the latest news.
You can receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for game time.
Be the first to cheer on your local teams and show your support.
Receive important updates and reminders, so you're always prepared for the game.
Signing up is quick and easy. Don't miss out. Sign up now and stay connected to the action.
Plus, follow us on social media for live updates, behind-the-scenes content, and community news.
Cold winds blowing, temperatures dropping, and snow is beginning to fall. And then your furnace goes out. LCAP's LIHEAP Crisis Program is here to help. If your furnace is blowing cold air, not turning on, or not reaching the desired temperature, help is right around the corner, whether it needs fixed or replaced. For information, call the Department of Healthy Homes at 724-656-0090. LCAP's Healthy Home programs are the key to safer living.
Congratulations to the October LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Mohawk Girls Volleyball as October's LCAP Team of the Month for winning their first section title in program history and their first playoff victory in program history as well. Congratulations to Coach Anna Fadden and the Mohawk Warrior Volleyball Team, your LCAP Team of the Month. Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor your Red Zone October Male Athlete of the Month as Zayden Herb of Neshannock for scoring his 100th career goal and scoring 6 goals in a playoff victory, the first playoff victory in 14 years for Neshannock. Lawrence County SportsNet also proud to honor the Red Zone Female Athlete of the Month, Lindsay Hoover of Wilmington Golf, for finishing 12th in the PIAA Championships. Congratulations to Wilmington's Lindsay Hoover and Neshannock's Zayden Herb, your Red Zone Athletes of the Month.
Thank you for calling Axe. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. Axe can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joyride.
I'm helping people. I'm getting them out of their house. I'm taking them to their doctors, to the grocery store.
They say I'm entertaining. Okay, we laugh, we joke, we sing, we tell stories.
They're like family to us.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joyride, call Axe today.
Back on the pregame show, brought to you by Castle Asphalt and Construction. They know the importance of making a good first impression, and no matter how elegant your home or office may be, if you match it with poor road surfaces, your friends or potential clients may regret making the trip. www.castleasphalt.com. First impression time for our teams in the playoffs. Let's get into the previews real quick. 4 games on the network. We'll start with the much anticipated and much debated matchup of the Parkway co-champs. 3-seeded Newcastle hosting 6-seeded Montour. The Canes defeated Montour just 34 days ago by a score of 34-14. That was the coming out party for Marino Graham. All 5 touchdowns in the game were accounted for by Marino Graham. He did most of the work last week, though, through the air. The leg work over the course of the year has been impressive as well. 3 touchdowns last week, though, all going to Chase Lemon through the air. Montour, they're a young team as well, just like the Canes. Their freshman receiver, Archie Collins, had both touchdowns when they played against Newcastle back 4 weeks ago. However, the 3 weeks since, my goodness, I would say Montour's got to be one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in Class 4A. Behind their quarterback, Brandon Bennett, he's really improved his play as well. Going to be a dandy tonight at Taggart Stadium. Which young quarterback makes the plays? Which one on Halloween will be seeing ghosts, in the graveyard. Eric Thomas, Tim Continenza on the call. Again, that's a video only on NFHS, free audio if you're listening on our website at lcsportsnet.com. That same scenario in 2A, watch on NFHS, listen for free on our website as the 8-seeded Mohawk Warriors host the 9-seed Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. How about the Warriors? 3 straight wins for Mohawk. They were all basically must-win games when you think about it. Just to get into the playoffs. Practically, they've been in the playoffs for the last month, has Mohawk, and they're playing their best ball of the year, capped off by a 5-touchdown Bobby Fadden performance a week ago, earning him a couple of Athlete of the Week honors for many various outlets across the WPIAL. But it's not just the Bobby Fadden show for those incredible Warriors. They are the Incredibles right now. How about freshman Lucas Stratton? Settling into that backfield, he's shown off the speed like Dash, but still the youth of a Jack out there. A little versatility there from Mr. Stratton. Joey Nail stretching out for 3 touchdowns last week. Braden Radziminski and the rest of that line looking like they're putting up force fields in the trenches. And Bobby himself just being Mr. Incredible by not trying to do too much, using this well-rounded team that they've really started to develop and improved upon over the course of the year. Take what the defense has been giving them. Olsha on the other side, they're a very well-rounded team. Lots of moving parts. A lot of different people you're going to see it snapping at quarterback. Jameer Samuels has gotten the majority of the carries here in the late stages of the season. 7 o'clock kickoff for that one. Tom Rook, Brent, and Ben Kelly on the call from Warrior Stadium. In Class 1A, how about Neshannock making a road trip? The only one of our county teams making a road trip, heading to Leechburg for the 8-9 matchup. Lancers, a hard-fought rivalry game a week ago, need to rebound in a hurry. I think this is an Anthony Eakin week, to say the very least. Look for Anthony Eakin many times, running like he's chasing candy bars around Green Tree Circle. That's what it's going to be for Lancers to be successful tonight. On the Leechburg side, they're going to have a big-time runner of their own. It's going to feel more like Groundhog Day than Halloween by the end of the night. Blue Devils senior running back Timmy Andrasi, he averages 25 carries and 188 yards per game, 23 total touchdowns on the season. Expect a lot of ground and pound on both sides of the football tonight. Tyler Aaron joins me on the call there from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Again, that is a free video broadcast for you to watch here at lcsportsnet.com between Leechburg and Neshannock. Also in 1A, the Laurel Spartans, fresh off that Big 7 conference title, another home opener in the playoffs against another Tri-County South team. Last year was California. We don't talk about that one from a year ago. This year it's 13-seeded Jefferson Morgan taking on the 4-seeded Spartans. Colton Carlson had a game-winning touchdown a week ago. He's now got 16 total touchdowns on the year, including that game winner. He is, I think, rightfully so, taking over the headlines, but we got to talk about this Laurel defense here real quick. 7 sacks last week. Ethan Hamilla blocks a field goal late that set up the winning score. Only 3 touchdowns allowed in conference all year for this Laurel defense, and they're going to be put up to the test, especially in the trenches against a good 1-2 punch of Deacon DeHette and John Woodward. Both guys over 800 yards and a combined 42 touchdowns on the year. Should be a good one between the Rockets and the Spartans. Again, that's an audio-only broadcast tonight at lcsportsnet.com. Real quick, Wilmington on bye in District 10. They'll take on the winner of Cochranton and Cambridge Springs in the semifinals next week. Also, Elwood City has a free video broadcast of the 6-11 game between the Wolverines and Keystone Oaks. Remember, the Golden Eagles gave Mohawk quite the run for their money last year, coming up to Lawrence County for a first-round game. Tyler Smiley, he's the county's leading passer, will look to continue the Wolverine hot streak. How about the big win last week? Come from behind style. It's a better comeback than Pennywise, as they are now 100 years. How about that? 100 years since their WPIAL championship. Well, there you have it. 5 playoff games in the county tonight. You can keep tabs on our bottom line, our out-of-town scoreboard throughout the course of the evening, all the scores across the area, and a lot of out-of-town scorers across the playoff brackets as well. And don't forget to tune in to the Trib Live High School Sports Network scoreboard show before witching hour comes to play. Starting at 9:30 tonight, all the scores, all the recaps of the biggest games across the WPIAL playoffs. But for now, time to take you out to field level for the start of tonight's games. Send you out. Thank you for tuning in. Best of luck to all of our county teams and everybody participating in the postseason. Glad you're joining us on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Halloween night in the city of Newcastle, and that means it's time for the WPIAL Class 4A playoffs. Tonight, the quarterfinal matchup between the Montour Spartans, 7-3, the number 6 seed out of the Parkway Conference, taking on the Newcastle Hurricanes, the 3rd seed, yes, out of the Parkway Conference, at 8-2. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza with you here. Well, it was about 30 days ago these two teams met right on this field, a game completely dominated by the Hurricanes. They won it 34-14. Brandon Bennett, the starting quarterback from Montour, threw 3 interceptions. They could not run the football, could Montour, their bread and butter all season long. The Newcastle defense stepped up, made play after play. Marino Graham was spectacular in that game as well. He accounted for all the touchdowns the Hurricanes scored. So 30 days later, Tim Continenza, same thing here tonight, or is this going to be a vastly different game?
It can possibly be the exact same game if the turnovers happen. If this defense can create the 3 turnovers they did against Bennett, if Bennett only threw 5 interceptions all season, threw 3 in that game, it's going to be turnovers. The monsters of the game is going to be turnovers and short field position and opportunities to make plays. There's a possibility of it. The most likely scenario, it won't be, because you have so much information about both teams. Not only have you witnessed it across the field from each other, you have it on film, you have the entire season to overlook. I'd be very surprised if it was a similar outcome of that first matchup.
Since that game against Newcastle here back in the middle portion of the season, this Montour team has gone on a massive run. They've won every game thrown in front of them, including beating Aliquippa, coming back and beating Aliquippa, 34 points in the second half, and then essentially a playoff game last week against one of their rivals, West Allegheny, a game in which they got a big pick 6 before the half and handled the Indians in that game. To get to this point, they're running the ball better, their offense is playing a lot better, their offensive line is playing a lot better, and this team has been virtually unstoppable. They've run for an average of 260 yards in those 3 games. They've cut down on the passing a little bit, but their scoring has gone up 41 a game over that stretch. No surprise their bread and butter wants to be to run the football like we've seen all season long for them. What has made this Montour team different? You talk to Lucero, he'll say, well, we're just watching more film, we're getting more comfortable with everything. There's got to be something else to it, though. This team is it's completely different than the one we saw here about a month ago.
I think it's a combination of growth throughout the season, what he's talking about. But more importantly, it got to be your offensive line has made that upgrade. As the game we seen a month ago, that offensive line had its issues where they never could handle the blitz coming from Newcastle. They had trouble containing their front 7 throughout the ball game. They were getting in the backfield. They were stopping running plays before they got started. Since then, you've seen what Halusko has done. He has just been really fantastic. For the season, almost 1,200 yards rushing, 5 games, 100 yards plus per game. It's really been an impressive thing, and it really starts with the guys up front. If they can control the line of scrimmage against a defense, then they're able to use that running game effectively to set up the rest of their offense. And when that happens, you're going to score points.
Yeah, certainly. And Caden Halajo, he did not have a great night against Newcastle the first time, only averaged a yard per carry. In fact, if you take away his 2 biggest runs of the night of 12 and 13 yards, he finished with 17 carries for 19 yards, but he has been on a tear in the last 2 games, running for almost 300 yards and almost 8 yards a carry during that stretch. The series history between these two teams, Newcastle leads the series 21-14-1, first game back in 1977, won by Newcastle. And, of course, earlier this season we talked about the game here at Taggart in which they won 34-14. They've played in the playoffs one other time. You got to go back to 2017 for that game. A game Montour won 35-31. They swept the series that year after beating Newcastle in the regular season as well. Newcastle, 11-time WPIAL champion, last won a title in 1998. They last played for a title in 2016. Montour's a 5-time champ. They have not hoisted the crown since 2011. The winner of this game tonight will play either the 2-seed Trinity or the 7-seed Aliquippa. That's at a neutral site next Friday night in the semifinals. And then the WPIAL title game comes your way 2 weeks from tomorrow at Pine Ridgeland High School at 12:05 in the afternoon. That's a look at our AXE Series notes. AXE is Lawrence County's door-to-door transportation service open to the public. AXE takes you to people to work, play, and elsewhere, anywhere else they want to go. Online at rideaxbus.org. That's rideaxbus.org. rideaxbus.org. Our impact players tonight, well, it'd be easy to look at the 2 quarterbacks for these two teams. Since that loss to Newcastle, Brandon Bennett, 19 of 30 passing, 5 touchdowns, no picks. He was fantastic against Aliquippa. But the two impact players we're going to talk about, the two guys that were a factor and one was not in the first meeting. That's Caden Halajo for Montour. We just mentioned the night that he had here a couple weeks ago. And Chase Lemon, who's had himself a spectacular season. He was a big part of that win against Montour back in the middle portion of the season.
Yeah, when you look at what Bennett has done, it's just been phenomenal. And at quarterback, but more, like you mentioned, Halasco, what he brings to the table is to be able to, do the nit and gritty, the hard stuff, and to grind it out. And obviously, 5 yards over 100, 5 games with over 100 yards, you're getting the job done. Chase Lemon is that underdog type receiver that you root for. He's a guy who's kind of maybe a little undersized, but he gets the job done. He has a heart of gold. He's going to run through a brick wall for you. He's going to do whatever is necessary. In the last time these two teams met, it was 4 receptions for 44 yards, and he was just such a dynamic person with the ball in his hands. And if they could get it in his hands, either on slants, over the middle, end around, different type of scenarios, get him involved, it'll open up opportunities for the other receivers like Kai Cox. And I think that's what they're looking to do is when Cox is, tough to shut him down, but if you could take him away, they're going to go to Lemon. And then when you start focusing on Lemon, they're going to be able to find Kai Cox. And then you also have someone like Davis who's available who can make a big play once in a while. And they kind of underuse him. But anytime he has the ball in his hand is a threat to do something special.
That's a look at your impact players brought to you by Nick's Auto Body, collision repair, paint and detailing, full service mechanical, interior cleaning. Nick's Auto Body, trust your body in our hands from a scratch to a dent to a major repair. Nick's your man, located on South Mill Street in Newcastle. We're about set to get the teams out on the field here. And again, the winner will go to the semis next week, opposite of either Aliquippa or Trinity. And, of course, those 3 teams in the Parkway Conference, Montour, Aliquippa, and Newcastle. There's a look at your bracket and the 3 teams from the Parkway situated on the same side. Other interesting matchups tonight, Thomas Jefferson and Mars. That'll be one to keep an eye on. And, of course, the number 1 seed, McKeesport, will take on the 8th-seeded Chartiers Valley. That's the 3rd playoff meeting between TJ and Mars. And hat tip really to Aliquippa and TJ, 31st consecutive year that those 2 teams have made the WPIAL tournament. Interesting note, Aliquippa is 3-0 against Trinity all time, so we'll see who that favors tonight. But first things first, Newcastle can't look ahead. They got to take care of business here tonight against a rival from their own conference. As we wait both teams to come out on the field, let's talk a little bit more about that last game that these 2 teams played. Montour flagged just once in that game, and of course we mentioned the 3 interceptions thrown by Brandon Bennett. The Montour rushing attack, which for the season is running for 190 yards a game, was held to 26 carries for 35 yards. And Caden Halajo, he was the only player on the Spartans' offensive side to have positive rushing yards in the game. And that is remarkable to think about because this team loves to run the ball. Now, they'll get their other guys like Archie Collins and Xander Stern mixed into some of the running attack and go with sweeps and things like that. But you factor in the sacks, the tackles for loss, and Halajo was the only guy that had positive yards rushing, and he only had 19 if you take away those 2 big carries. So that puts in perspective how good this Newcastle defense was when these 2 teams met a couple of weeks ago. Other games around the region tonight that we're following from the Lawrence County Sports Network. In 2A, it's Mohawk and Olsh. That's the first ever meeting between those 2 teams. The winner of that game will get the number 1 seed, Seton LaSalle. Elwood City will take on Keystone Oaks in the 6-11 matchup. The winner of that will play the 3rd-seeded Steel Valley next week. And then in 1A, it's Leechburg and Neshannock in an 8-9 game. And congrats to the winner of that because you're probably going to play Fort Cherry in the next round as they take on 16-seed Avella tonight. And then Laurel hosting Jefferson Morgan, with the winner of that game getting the 5th-seeded Southside Rams or Chartiers Houston. That's a 5-12 matchup in the bottom half of the 1A bracket. And that's a look at what's going on around the county. We'll keep you updated on all the scores tonight, including the games in 4A as it pertains to Newcastle and who will advance to next week's semifinals, all on our Newcastle Transit out-of-town scoreboard. coming up throughout the game and also at halftime and in our post-game show tonight. These two teams shared the Parkway Conference title. Newcastle gets the home game because they won head-to-head about a month ago, and they are fired up. First time in the playoffs here since 2021. It's been a long, slow build for this Hurricanes team to get out of the basement and get back to this position. In just his second year, Freddie Mazzacco, the 1985 alum of Newcastle, has turned it around for his program. Interesting quote from him, too. I really like some of the things that he says in sort of a deeper context for this team, but he said in a story published today about this is what you're going to see going forward now. What we do with these guys in the offseason, that's now the blueprint for what happens later on. We're going to have a team in a couple years in which the linemen have all played together for 3-4 years. It's been a long time coming for this team and this proud tradition here at Newcastle, and they had to turn to one of their own, but he's finally got it back where they think they belong.
Well, that's exactly it. He's building a program, Eric, and that's what we're talking about, what he did so successfully at Nishanik and what he is doing here at Newcastle in his second season. He got this team believing. He has the players believing. He has players coming out at the 7th and 8th grade level at numbers they haven't had in years. This is how you do it, and that's what he's talking about. You get your organization, your team, from top to bottom, from the lowest level to the highest level, learning the system, playing within the system, knowing what to do. And as he says, as you go into year 3, not to finish year 2 yet, it's just more experience and more ability to build on what he's doing. And I think that's, what is the key to success in high school football, or at least continuous success in high school football, is you have to start, all the way down to the Pee Wee level, all the way up to your seniors. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does take time. But if you're diligent and you work hard at it and you have a message and you have belief and you have results, people want to be a part of it.
If you're watching us tonight on the NFHS Network, thank you for tuning in. You'll see that Newcastle obviously is in the home red. And if you're listening to us, Montour will be, of course, the away team here at Taggart Stadium. They're in their white tops with the yellow pants and the black trim around the numbers and the pant legs. Newcastle home red, white trim, white numbers, and white trim, white and red helmets with the black trim around the center logo. The captains are getting ready to step out on the field. It's Chase Lemon, Jaden Schaefer.
Dad, don't forget about my new cleats.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dick's this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Have I heard of
allow this offense that went right down the field on your 15-play drive in the previous opportunity to add more to the scoreboard.
Bennett will have Medilli and Halajo in the backfield with him. Rogers in the wing, near side, Stern, near side of the formation. Now Rogers motions away, and we get a flag before the snap, and it looks like we're going to have a false start on Montour. So that'll be the first penalty of the night for either side. 1:58 to go in the first quarter. Newcastle defense has found itself down 7 in this game. They found themselves down a couple of times during the season. Not much, though. They go to the ground, and Halajo is wrapped up at the 35. It'll be no gain that time as Travis Wetzel is there for the stop for Newcastle. Second down at 15 with 1:37 in a running clock here in the first quarter.
This is what you got to keep your defense, keep them behind the sticks right now. Don't allow them to get big yardage here and make it a third down and manageable.
80 seconds to go in the quarter. Snap to Bennett. Throw near side. It's caught. Almost tipped out of the play and caught by Dominic Barron, but he's unable to get much. Gets to the 40. It'll be a gain of 4 that time, so it'll bring up third down for Montour.
Yeah, Barron picks up 5 on that screen play there and brings up third down and 10. This is the situation you want to be in if you're Newcastle. You have to make sure you cover Xander Stearns and keep an eye on Halesko and see what you can do here and put some pressure on Bennett. It's a tough assignment, but it has to be done.
Talented freshman Archie Collins, slot near side. Bennett looks, Bennett pressure. Bennett steps up. Bennett's going to go. No, he's not. Keeps the legs working, trying to get to the sideline. Sidesteps the defender and stretches at the very end of the play. And he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down at the 49, where he's out of bounds. Chased there by Quaylen Davis. Chase Lemon was also in the vicinity that time, but you'll see him get out of the tackle right in the middle of the field, and then at the very tail end just stretch for that first down. He was unable to get it. It'll be fourth down.
Lost control of the ball as he was headed towards the sideline, and it went out maybe about a yard short of the first down marker. He has to get to the midfield, but he picked up 9 on the play.
They're going to go for this with 24 seconds to go in the quarter, it looks like, anyway.
Yeah, they're going to use a timeout.
Yeah, how about a timeout with 24 seconds to go in the quarter? It's a Pontius Insurance timeout online at pontiusinsurance.com. Didn't get a chance to set really the Newcastle defense for you. Up front, it's Ritter, Gordon, and Schaefer. Linebackers are Gianni Molina, Dallas Lyles, Travis Wetzel, and Mason Cook. In the secondary, Chase Lemon, Jermaine Walker, Damian Harrison, and Kai Cox. Again, the winner of this game will play either Aliquippa or Trinity next Friday night. Neutral site. Sites will be released on Sunday by the WPIAL or tomorrow, depending on when.
You know, every play is important in a playoff game, as you know, Eric, but this here on fourth down, trailing by 7, if your defense, if your Newcastle could come up big here, it'd be huge, and you want to stay on the field if you're the Spartans and just kind of control this game. They have had the time of possession on their side since the opening kick.
It's going to be 4th and 1. Medilli and Halajo are going to come back out on the field. Direct snap territory for Halajo on 4th and 1. Just outside of midfield, Halajo will take the snap up the gut and first down Montour. Stretches it over the 50 into Newcastle territory to the 49 on a 2-yard gain. They move the sticks and they're 1 for 1 on 4th down.
Yeah, big fourth down pickup there by Halasko as he was able to stretch the ball across midfield and pick up that extra yard and keep this Montour's team on the field as we head to the end of the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter. Montour, the only score of the night, a Brandon Bennett 3-yard touchdown run, and they lead it 7-0 after one. You're watching the WPIAL Class 4A tournament on the Lawrence County Sports Network and the NFHS Network.
You can shop for pretty much anything online. Clothes, food, vacations, you name it, all without ever leaving the comfort of your couch. Finally, banking can be just that easy too. With the all-new FMB e-store, you can shop for hundreds of financial products to manage your money, all from the comfort of your couch. From clicks to bricks, we've got you covered. Experience the FMB e-store in branch, on your phone, or online at fmb-online.com.
You're always on the winning team with the Power of Bowser, the official car dealer of the WPIAL. Visit powerofbowser.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to find your perfect vehicle. Get the absolute best price and the best car buying experience around. See the full lineup at powerofbowser.com. Powerofbowser.com, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Joshua Tree. Trust the ISA certified arborist at Joshua Tree experts with your tree shrub care. Call 412-494-2222 for 10% off winter discounts on all winter work, including trees that require winter pruning. Love where you live. Leave the worrying to us. Joshua Tree. We thank them for their help tonight in getting this game on both our audio stream on the Lawrence County Sports Network and televised on the NFHS Network. 1st and 10 for Montour as we start the second quarter. They have the ball just over midfield at the 49 of Newcastle. They lead it 7-0 thanks to Brandon Bennett, who's in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands off to Halacho, and he is cut down in the backfield. Good pursuit that time in the backfield by DJ Gordon, and that will bring up third down.
What's interesting here, that is the 11th carry here for Halacho, but he has had 3 carries of negative yards of 3, 3, and 4 to go along with all the positive ones that he had, and he had 2 that were actually for no gain. So they're keying in on him, but he's been able to get success on third down, which has been really the key here for Montour's early in the ball game.
Big get off the field possession here for play here for Newcastle's defense. It's actually second down, I beg your pardon, as Bennett will keep Bennett scrambling. Bennett to the 45, slipped through there. Brandon Bennett back into Newcastle territory and trailed from behind by Marquise Wise, but he carries the stack inside the 45 to the 44 of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Newcastle trying to tackle up high and giving Bennett the opportunity to use his upper body strength just to twist and pull and move forward and pick up 10 yards on that carry to bring up third down and 5, and a huge momentum there for the Spartans. Now they got a chance to stay on the field again on a short field situation.
They are getting punched in the mouth up front as Newcastle right now, as Montour is controlling this line of scrimmage. They hand it off. Medilli, he slips, trying to cut back, and he's going to be taken down right near the line of scrimmage at the 44. So no gain that time for Medilli, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, the punting unit will come onto the field here for Montours.
That's a big stop for this Newcastle defense, aided in part by the turf monster. And Stern will punt it away to Chase Lemon and Kai Cox.
This is where your special team has to make a play here.
Stern really waited a long time to get rid of that. That's angling towards the sideline and out of bounds. Lemon will watch it go. And Newcastle will take over 1st and 10 on their own 10 with 9:52 and a 7-0 deficit on the board for the Hurricanes.
At the 10-yard line, Newcastle takes over 1st and 10.
Coming up at halftime, it'll be the UPMC halftime show. We'll talk about what's going on across the region with all of our local teams on the Lawrence County Sports Network. We'll give you the stats from this game and our scoring recap. And we will look ahead to the second half. It all comes your way on the UPMC halftime show coming up in about 9 minutes and 52 seconds. 1st and 10 for Marino Graham and Newcastle. Shotgun for the freshman, and we got movement up front by the Canes, and that'll push them back 5. That's their first penalty here of the night. Each team with a false start penalty.
Against Newcastle.
Otherwise, a well-played game here through the first 15 minutes in terms of penalties.
Let's see what Newcastle has in store. Obviously, the offense goes through Marino Graham and everything that he brings to the offense, but they have weapons to use. They haven't really used Proctor yet as a runner. We'll see if they try to establish the run here or they just continue to rely on the freshman and Graham.
First and 15 for Newcastle. Graham standing just over his own goal line. He's going to have to scramble out of there. Got out of one-arm tackle. He can't get out of 2, and he pops off the turf pretty hard. Boy, Marino Graham, his face mask hit the turf really hard. I'm not sure he is going to be able to stay in the game.
Yeah, he shaked off one tackle and was able to turn the corner and try to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he got brought down hard around the 4-yard line, and they're going to take a timeout here.
He's actually going to lose a yard on the play. When he got twisted around, his face mask bounced off that turf pretty hard. You hate to see that, but they're going to have to take a look at him. He just gave the thumbs up to Freddie Mazzacco, but he's going to have to come out for a play. Yeah, it's a Newcastle timeout brought to you by Pontius Insurance. Online at pontiusinsurance.com. So that means for now, Kai Cox is going to be in the game at quarterback while they tend to Graham. It's second down and 16. Cox direct snap, going to try to break it out to the right. Cox tripped up as he gets across the 5. There is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. This could be a hold against Newcastle. So they're looking at Graham on the sideline.
Just went with the direct snap with one of your best athletes in Kai Cox. We're going to have a personal foul. Looks like it was hands to the face was the call. And he'll move the ball all the way out to the 24-yard line after that run there by Cox.
So a big first down for Newcastle to keep the sticks alive. Their first of the night. Graham is standing up now. He's off that training table. They're giving him all kinds of tests via protocol on the sideline to see if he's okay. Hopefully he is. That was a scary, scary situation there, the way his face mask bounced off that turf. As we're going to get movement up front again on Newcastle. This is going to back him up 5.
Well, I was just going to say Newcastle gets their first down via of the 15-yard penalty and then gives 5 yards back and is behind the sticks to start this series of downs on that false start.
Pushes the ball back to the 20 or the 19-yard line. 9:06 to go. Still tons of time. Graham now is done with the trainers, and he's walking around on the sideline. He's fine. He is going to ask to get back in the game here at some point. It would look like anyway. Snap to Cox. He hands off Walker. Walker cuts back. Jermaine Walker spin move. Nice run by Jermaine Walker all the way up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a first down for Newcastle. Take a look at it on the LCAP instant replay. Nick Cecilia brought him down.
A nice twist and turn to stay in the middle of the field and use his speed to get up to the 35-yard line.
Going to stay with Cox in at quarterback for the moment. It's nice having Jermaine Walker back for the Canes. He missed a couple of games early this season. A high snap. Cox is going to have to take it, go right up the middle, and he's going to get crunched. MJ Lucas and Coleman Dilly are in on the stop that time, but Cox does get positive yardage. So we hit under 8 minutes to go here in the first half, and it's still 7-0 Montour. That ball will be marked just outside the 40 at the 39. It's a 4-yard gain for Cox.
Second down and 6 coming up here, so a lot of opportunities as Chase Lemon checks in here. Well, looked like he was going to check in, but he looks like he might be coming back out. Maybe just giving him a different instructions here. And we're going to have another timeout.
Yeah, Freddie Mazzacco is going to have to burn another one with 7:26 to go. Be another Pontius Insurance timeout.
They had to save the yardage that they gained on first down. A little mix-up on the play call as Lemon was originally relaying it in, and they called him back, and they chose to maybe make some adjustments, and then just time was running out. They had to use that second timeout and save their field position here on second down and 6 coming up here for the Canes.
Marino Graham is going to be back in when they come back out on the field. Newcastle Transit Authority out-of-town scoreboard in single A at Leechburg. Neshannock has a 21-6 lead after 1 against the home Leechburg team. James Dotson and company have that game for you. We have all of our area teams covered tonight. If you want audio, you can go to our YouTube or Lawrence County Sports Network webpage. If you want the video, you can go to the NFHS network. You can watch it on there. And I correct myself, Graham is not back in yet. It's going to be Cox once again. Graham still doesn't have his helmet on the sideline. It looked like he was going to come back out there during the timeout, but they pulled him back. So Cox stays in, 2nd and 6 from the 39. Shotgun snap to Kai. Breaks to the outside. He's got nowhere to go. And there's that Montour defense standing tall as Verdream, Halajo, and Cole Medilli are all in there on the stop. It's a big loss for the Canes and a big third down coming up.
Yeah, they're going to lose 6 on the play, all the way back to the 34-yard line, excuse me. And this will be a huge third down coming up here for the Canes. Third down and 11.
So the problem with Graham, Travis Wetzel technically the backup quarterback, but the problem with Graham being out, they don't have any ability really to throw the ball. I don't know if Cox, what kind of arm he has.
I have no idea. We've never really experienced him throwing the ball yet this year.
And you would expect that he will not in this situation either. He will toss it. Quick toss looking for Lemon, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
He's seen Lemon out on the flat on the right side, but unfortunately Lemon was about 4 yards short of that pass. He just didn't get enough on it. It falls incomplete here for Kai Cox on his first attempt, and they'll have to punt the ball away after getting 2 first downs on that drive. They'll have to see if their special teams can come up with a big play and rely on their defense to try to get the offense back on the field.
Omar Thomas will punt it away. 5 punts inside the 20 this season. He was the place kicker. That has now gone to Chase Comaduran, who has replaced him. And a good one by Thomas. As it'll be caught dangerously. No fair catch signal called by Barrett, and he got drilled by Wise. So there is your special teams play. Early nomination for our play of the game as you take a look at it on the instant replay if you're watching us. And again, no fair catch called by Barron. He's fair game, and Wise took advantage of it. So it's going to be a first down for Montour at their own 30. 6:26 to go in the first half. And they lead it 7-0.
This is where their defense in their first matchup was able to come up with some turnovers in that ball game to try to turn away Montours a few times, especially in the second half. They're going to need big defensive plays here to keep this at 7-0.
Bennett out of the shotgun, hands it off. Halajo up the middle. Good run on first down across the 35 to the 37. 7-yard gain that time. That's his 12th carry of the night. Going to leave a 2nd and short. 6:08 to go in the first half. Now, you said something earlier about Bennett, and I mean, it's no surprise. They are throwing less and running more, but here's a zinger by Bennett to the outside, and Stern makes the catch. Turns upfield, gets the first down across the 45, and he's at the 46-yard line for a gain of 9.
Yeah, they're doing like RPOs with Bennett right now, where you have to respect anytime the ball's in his hand that he's going to run. And there he takes a step, pulls back, and makes a nice throw out to to Xander, and he makes a nice play picking up those yardage for a first down.
Shotgun for Bennett, motion by Rogers, the tight end. Hand off Halajo, working right side, taken down short of the 49. And he's going to be tackled there, it looks like by Jaden Schaefer, and that's going to bring up the second down. 2-yard gain that time for Halajo, 13th carry of the first half.
He has definitely been the workhorse here for the Spartans. And then you throw in what Bennett has done. And as a compliment to him, has worked out terrific for them. And Bennett has rushed the ball 7 times and thrown the ball 3 times.
Second down and 8 for Montour, just outside of midfield as we come up on 5 to go in the first half. We get a whistle, and it's going to be another false start on Montour. That'll be the 3rd accepted penalty against the Spartans for 25 yards here in the first half.
Against Montour.
And coming up at halftime, we'll have our UPMC halftime show. UPMC is Lawrence and Mercer County's local choice for advanced orthopedic care to get you back on your feet faster online at upmc.com. Handoff Halajo, right side, a big hole for Caden Halajo into Newcastle territory. He is short of the first down, taken down at the 47 of the Hurricanes. Gain of 10 that time for Halajo, and he's definitely running the ball a lot better than he was in the earlier meeting between these two, but it will be 3rd down.
Yeah, he's getting into the defensive backs, and that's the key. Is once you get penetration past this front 7, they're making the defensive backs and linebackers make all the tackles. Someone up front has to be able to penetrate and make contact with the receivers, or excuse me, the runners.
3rd down and 3 for Montour. Bennett keeps it left side, stiff arms the man, gets out of it. Brandon Bennett diving forward, and I think he's going to have enough for the first down. Boy, he shook off that first defender and just muscled his way for that first down.
Newcastle continues to try to tackle Bennett up high, and he's just using his upper body strength, as you said, with that forearm to shed tackles and get extra yardage. First thing you got to be talking about is you got to go low on him. Yeah, you can make contact out front, but someone else has to help him go low and secure the tackle because his legs are doing all the work.
You can just see it in the way this kid's walking back to the formation. He's got a lot more confidence these days than he did when he threw 3 picks here a month ago. Halajo on first down, bottled up and dropped. Good pursuit that time by DJ Gordon and company. Jaden Schaefer is also in there along with Hank Ritter. And that's going to bring up a second, and it's a loss back to the 46, so a loss of 2 that time. Montour just content to take their time. 3:10 to go, 2nd and 12. They lead at 7-0.
They've controlled this game from the opening kickoff. This offense has dominated the time of possession here today.
Tyson Verdream is in at tight end on the near side. Rogers, the extra blocker at tight end. Handoff Halajo, nowhere to go. Mason Cook flies in there and drops him back for a 3-yard loss to the 49.
That's what Cook did in the first game between these two schools, is he was able to penetrate, get into the backfield, and make solo tackles. They haven't had many of those here in the first half for Newcastle. That's the type of play that they've been very successful with and need to continue here to keep this game right here. This is a big 3rd down to try to get off the field here for the Canes.
3rd and 12 with 2:22 to go in the half. Bennett in the shotgun. Motion towards us is Stern. Snap. Bennett looks. Here they come. He dumps it off. Jaden Schaefer makes one incredible play to be all over Halajo. Almost picked it off, but he throws Halajo down back into Montour territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, minus yards on the catch as it's set up to screen it. And there was just too much pressure coming from this defense. As you mentioned, Schaefer making a great play on that ball and causing them to punt the ball away here on 4th down.
Punt from Stern up in the sky is going to be fair caught by Cox. He lost the ball, and Halajo's there to pounce on it at the 20-yard line. Did Cox get it back? That's
Cox, I think, may have got it back. We'll see if they rule the player down when he had possession or not.
It is going to be,
I think, Newcastle's ball.
Newcastle ball, it sure will be. So Cox was able to get that back almost miraculously as we take a look at it on the LCAP instant replay. Good job by Halajo to get down there, and he was right on it, and you'll see right at the very tail end as he rolled over, didn't quite have possession, and Cox was able to wrestle that away. So with 1:32 to go in the half, it's Newcastle possession again. They've only run 9 plays in this first half, and Marino Graham is still out of the game right now, so Cox will be in at quarterback once again. Flanked by Walker. Cox, hands off. Walker working his way right side, right into the arms of MJ Lucas for a short gain on first down. Newcastle will get the ball to start the second half, so keep that in mind. As that carry is up to the 28.
Yeah, really important right now here, maybe just to run out the clock. If you get a big run, great. Other than that, to be down 7-0 at the start of this game, you'll take it if you're Newcastle.
Cox keeps on the fake. Now he cuts back. Cox,
look out.
Space. Cox bounces off one defender, and then he twists and turns his way to the 35-yard line. Tackled there by Keyshawn White, who makes a basically touchdown-saving tackle. You take a look at the replay again. Great block there by Schaefer, too. And Cox, a big first down for the Canes. And I think you're right. Just at this point, you really just need to keep your momentum here and just keep away for Newcastle as this first half winds down. Cox going to sling it, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Mardez Stewart, and that was incomplete.
Yeah. One of the scenarios where you're going to have to show at least the threat that you're willing to throw the ball in a game like this. And even though you have your backup quarterback in Cox in the play, you want to be able to make a defense respect the idea if he does roll out. But you got to think that, RPOs with him is what you're going to try to do in a sense. Short passes are going to be available, and then let him make decisions on who gets the ball, if he's going to keep it or if he's going to deliver it.
29 seconds to go in the half. Second down, Cox hands off. This is Maurice Moore, and there is not much to work with there as he squirts ahead to the 36, back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to get a timeout called by Montour with 20 seconds to go in the half. A Pontius Insurance timeout.
That was one of those gambles you take as a coach throwing the ball there on the previous down, because if it goes incomplete, that is like an extra timeout, and it gives Montour the opportunity to use a timeout here on second down to bring up third down, and we'll see exactly what transpires here.
Tim, Montour had 15 plays on their opening drive. Yeah. This is going to be the 14th play of the half that Newcastle has run.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been dominating. Their defense has gotten off the field when they needed to, but their offense has controlled this ball game. Let's be honest, Eric. They have won the battle up front, and in the process, they went down the field on that 68-yard, 15-drive play to open tonight's ball game, and they've been able to pick up first downs. They had to punt a couple times, but the bottom line is their offense is really dominated the pace of tonight's game.
Montour has 2 timeouts, 1 timeout remaining, so they can stop it after this if they get a stop here on third down. Cox thought about throwing it, will take off. Cox space, Cox spins, Cox keeps the legs working. Cox going to carry the pile across the 45 to the 40. They're going to call it the 45. It's going to be, they're going to give him the 46 for enough for a first down on a gain of 10.
Nice run there by Cox. That should do it here for the half. They'll set the ball down, the clock will run, and they'll let the clock expire here and go into halftime trailing by 7 here to the Spartans. But you got to take that as an advantage here for Newcastle. At the start of this game, especially the first 2 drives, it looked like they could be down by multiple touchdowns. And in the process, though, with the defense coming up big, making some plays, they hold it to only a 7-point lead here for the Montour Spartans.
7-0. Montour leads it at the half. WPIAL Class 4A quarterfinals here from Taggart Stadium. Halftime show, UPMC halftime show comes your way next. This is the Lawrence County Sports Network and also the NFHS Network.
Like in sports, it takes a great team to protect you, your family, and your business. MVP Insurance is that team. From home and auto to life and commercial insurance, you can count on us for coverage that adapts to your needs.
We're committed to excellence for our clients' experience and in serving our community.
It's a winning combination.
MVP Insurance. Don't get left on the sidelines. Log on to mvpins.com or call today to get your free quote.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Your hip, your knee, your shoulder, whatever has been holding you back, UPMC Orthopedic Care is where you'll find experts to help you get back to a better quality of life. UPMC is pioneering minimally invasive surgeries, and we offer personalized treatment plans and same-day surgery to get you home and moving sooner. It's your ankle, your elbow, your hand, and it's your move. Visit upmc.com/ortho to learn how UPMC can help.
Halftime here at Taggart Stadium. Eric Thomas, Tim Continenz with you. 7-0. Montour leads Newcastle here in the opening round of the WPIAL 4A tournament. And it's a game that's been dominated by the Montour Spartans in the first couple of minutes. Let's listen in on some halftime action here tonight from the bands. Then we'll be back to give you the stats and all the highlights from the first half. Up first, it's the Montour Spartans marching band.
A special gift for all the Swifties in the audience tonight. Prepare yourself for Taylor's version of our show and make sure you are ready for it. We are extremely excited to end our show with the newest addition to Lady Gaga's discography. Featuring all of our squads, we are ready to put a spell on you with the haunting rhythms of Abracadabra. The Montour Band thanks you for your kind attention and warm reception. The Montour Band is under the direction of Cindy Mancini. Assistant directors are Britta Bell, Drew McKenzie, and Nick Hoffnagel. Squad coaches are Elizabeth Jones, Ida, Tara Riddell, and Ida Rilsono. Thank you, and go Spartans!
debuted in 2014 and peaked at number 3 on the U.S. Hot 100 and hit number 1 in the UK. We will now feature our high-kicking candy canes, the Bang Bang, featuring Jessie J, Ariana Grande, and Nicki Minaj.
is one of the most successful songs by the Foo Fighters and was released in 2007. We will now feature the flag line along with Isabel Serrano, Ethan Matthews, and Joe Marshall on the trumpet solo to the hit song, The Pretender. Assisted by William Robinson and John Onufrak. The high kick and candy canes under the direction of Daniel Bruno and
Here's your halftime performances by both bands, Montour and Newcastle. Nice job by the Montour band, by the way, all dressing in costume. Same with the Newcastle band. We'll send it to a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the rest of the UPMC halftime show, the out-of-town scoreboard and the stats right here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition. For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
And back here as halftime continues, the UPMC halftime show. Eric Thomas and Tim Continenz with you. 7-0 Montour leads Newcastle in this WPIAL 4A first-round matchup. Let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard update brought to you by the Newcastle Transit Authority. Relax and ride daily routes to Pittsburgh as well as routes all around Lawrence County. Routes and schedules are available at newcastletransit.org. In 4A, McKeesport over Char Valley right now 23-7. Trinity and Aliquippa are tied at 7 at the half. The big news there for Aliquippa, Marcus Council, the starting quarterback, and Yale commit, is back in the lineup and playing quarterback tonight for Aliquippa. He was thought to be done for the year, so that is a big development for the Quips in that game. Thomas Jefferson leads Mars right now 17-0. That's a look at 4A. And 2A for the Lawrence County teams, Mohawk and Ulster scoreless at the half, and Keystone Oaks has a 7-0 lead on Elwood City in the second quarter. In 1A, Neshannock over Leechburg 21-6. It's in the second quarter. The winner of that game, if it is the Lancers, they will get Fort Cherry. They're up on Avella right now 41-0. And Matt Sieg has set the all-time career rushing record at Fort Cherry tonight with a monster performance in the first half. Laurel leads Jefferson Morgan 21-0. That is at the half. And the winner of that game will play Southside or Chartiers Houston. No report on that score as of yet. And it's 7-7 Keystone Oaks and Elwood City right now. So that game, Elwood City has come back to tie that game at 7. And that's a look at the Newcastle Transit Authority out-of-town scoreboard, serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County. The Newcastle Transit Authority going your way. Time to look at our scoring recap. And there isn't much to really talk about. One touchdown by Brandon Bennett early in this contest with 3:38 to go in the first quarter. It was a 3-yard touchdown run, but more impressively, Montour went 15 plays, 68 yards in 8 minutes and 16 seconds to take that 7-0 lead. And that is your only score of the first half. That's your Creative Edge scoring recap. Fully licensed and insured architecture and construction management services. They'll help make your project a reality. More information at 724-652-1372. Reminder that coming up, we're going to announce the athlete and the team of the month. And you can, of course, nominate players for the November award coming up on our LCAP website, lcsportsnet.com/awards. So we'll give you that athlete and team of the month coming up later. And also the Tri-County Cup. The Tri-County Principals Association have created the Tri-County Cup. All matchups featuring Tri-County opponents in all sporting events will factor into determining the winning school for the Tri-County Cup. And, of course, you can stay tuned for the post-game show tonight, brought to you by the Tri-County Principals Association. So Newcastle's going to receive the second half kickoff. And, boy, do they need a jolt right now, Tim Continenza, as they went down 7-0. How about Montour in that opening drive? 15 plays in the opening drive. Newcastle ran 15 the entire first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of the game. They've just dominated time of possession here in the first half, and their offensive line has really made the plays. Newcastle had their moments defensively coming in, making some stops when they needed to keep this game at just a one-score advantage. Right now, looking at the sideline for Newcastle is Marino Graham does have his helmet on, which is an advancement that we'll be seeing in the first and the second quarters here for the Canes. We'll see if he comes out here to start the third quarter.
Dalton Young will kick it away from Montour. It's a slippery line drive kickoff that goes into the end zone and out the back of the end zone for the touchback. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Newcastle as they will start from their own 20-yard line. And if you did miss it, Marino Graham left the game in the first quarter after his face mask slammed off the turf. They went with Kai Cox the rest of the way, but the freshman is back in the game now. And we will see what he is able to do for this Newcastle team because they surely need it right now. Down 7-0. Does not feel like a 7-0 game after what Montour was able to do in that first half. 1st and 10 for the Canes with Graham in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the near side. The freshman takes a snap. Back to pass. Takes off. Now he scrambles and tries to dump it off over the middle to Chase Lemon, and it's incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, he moved up in the pocket there was Graham, but he couldn't quite find Lemon. He threw behind him, and it falls incomplete and brings up 2nd down and 10. Coming up here for the Canes. The Canes just have to be able to show that they're willing to throw the ball and make a few plays with the air game. That will open up opportunities here for Marino, and that's the key. They got to get Marino involved in the running game. He's such a dynamic player for their offense to use.
Flanked by Jermaine Walker, who has had a couple of nice carries tonight. Here comes a carry on 2nd down for Walker as he lowers the shoulder, angling towards the sideline, and is hit there by Xander Stern. It's not going to be enough anywhere near a 1st down. So it's going to bring up 3rd down already for the Canes here to start this third quarter. As for Walker, that's his 3rd carry. He is back in that lineup now for this offense. He missed 4 games towards the end of the season.
It's a nice pickup by Walker. They pick up 7 there. Brings up a 3rd down and very manageable here. A lot of options for your offense as they'll send 4 receivers in pattern.
3rd and 3 for Newcastle. Big time moment here early in this second half. Canes need to stay on the field. Graham options near side. Walker, 1st down. Jermaine Walker turns on the Jets and he's across the 40. Ball came loose, but the ref's going to say he was down over the 40-yard line at the 42. It is going to be enough for a 1st down on a gain of 15 for Walker.
Yeah, Walker, they just ran that option to the right side. Like I said, you want to keep the ball in the hands of Graham and let him make decisions. They came in on him. He made the perfect pitch. They didn't stay with the pitch man, and it gave Walker the opportunity to pick up advantage yards there and gets 15 on the carry.
1st and 10 from the 42. Cox, if you're watching, top of the formation. If you're listening, he is to the far side. Motion towards us. Graham, the shotgun snap, takes it, hands off. Walker again, trying to slip through there. There is nowhere to go this time. As the big fella up front, Abram Kolodinsky for Montour, gets arms on him and throws it for a loss. And they did come up with the ball.
Yeah, they're signaling that Montour came up with the ball. They must have stripped it from him.
That is a Madur Bonner change in possession as he was stripped. And a costly turnover for Newcastle early in this third quarter. And Montour is going to take over in Hurricanes field position with 10:27 to go in the third.
Yeah, put in there. Newcastle defense at a disadvantage to start the third quarter. Not the ideal situation. You thought their offense was about to start something good, but the ball was stripped, and the Spartans take over 1st down and 10 at the Newcastle 43-yard line.
They pounded Newcastle up front in the first half. We'll show you the stats here in a minute. Shotgun snap for Bennett, handoff. Halajo is across the 40 and down to the 39. It's going to be a 4-yard gain for Halajo. He has been the workhorse tonight. 17 carries now, but just 33 yards. But still an effective runner for this team tonight, much more than he was in the first meeting.
Yeah, he's been the feature back. I mean, obviously, he only touched the ball 19 times. I say only because they wanted to establish the passing game in that game. Since then, they haven't.
They go to him again, left side, and Gianni Molina, along with Kai Cox, are going to team up for the stop. Again, it's a short gain, this time down to the 42.
To use a kind of a Halloween analogy, it's the Batman and Robin show here for Montours, as they've been using Jalisco and Bennett running the ball primarily and being able to really take advantage of those two players. And Bennett is one of those quarterbacks that's a threat to throw the ball to. And he's been running the option perfectly or the RPOs, I should say.
3rd down and 5. They go to Medilli. Medilli banging around the line, trying to get behind one of the linemen. And he's going to be taken down at the 35. So it's a gain of 3. It's not enough for a first down, but it's deep enough that they may think about going for it.
Yeah, they're in that no man's territory. This is 4-down territory for most teams, especially in the playoffs, leading 7-0. You want to establish, a chance to take full control of a ball game here. And that's what the Spartans are trying to do here. This is going to be a big, big play defensively for the Canes. Can they come up with the play to stop and get the ball back after that offense gave the turnover on their side of the field?
4th down and 2 from the Newcastle 35. Bennett shotgun. Running backs with him. He's going to keep. Bennett slips through. First down, Montour. First down and more for Brandon Bennett. He's inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line on a gain of 8 and a first down.
Yeah, beautiful run there by Bennett as he was able to keep his head up, bounce off a couple players in the process, and go forward and picking up those 8 tough yards, getting into the defensive backs of the Canes and getting the new set of first downs here on that 4th down. And right now the Spartans are looking to really take control of this ball game here in the 3rd quarter.
Bennett going to air it out, looking end zone, and there was contact down the field with Lemon and Stern. That is incomplete.
That's his first incompletion of the ball game. He did have a negative pass in his 2nd quarter for 6 yards, but that is first incompletion that we've seen in his 5 attempts here so far here in tonight's game.
This game is teetering right now if you're Newcastle. They have got to get a stop. Otherwise, a touchdown here, this game is pretty much over if they get a touchdown here.
It's in dire scenarios. That's no question about it. They would need a quick score just to get some momentum back.
Down to 7:50 to go. You don't want to sell anybody short, but the way Montour's defense has played in this game, it is going to be tough to come back from 2 scores. Snap to Bennett. Hand off Medilli once again. Good tackle that time. Down around the 10. 2-yard gain that time.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory. Obviously, they did it earlier. They're going to be doing it again. So every play for this defense is going to matter. They're going to have to find a way to penetrate and make contact behind the line of scrimmage. They haven't been able to do that. If they did, they've tackled up high, and they've taken advantage of it by breaking those tackles.
Bennett out of the shotgun, going to keep it this time, working right side. Good job by the defense, but he gets to the outside, shifting directions, and then he's wrestled out of bounds by Wetzel over on the far side, inside the 10, shy of the 5-yard line. He's right around the 7.
Yeah, nice run there by Bennett, kind of shaking and baking, diving in and out, using his agility to get to the outside, to the edge, and turning it upfield to get a few extra yards on that. They'll bring up a 3rd down and long. They can get a first down inside the 5. But right now, if you're Newcastle, you got to know that they have to be successful defensively on this play to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Newcastle really, perfect situation for them would get a turnover. We're going to get a timeout by Lucero, and Montour with 7:12 to go in the first half. Let's take a quick one as well. 7-0 Montour. The Spartans are driving here in the Lawrence County Sports Network and the NFHS Network.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
Back here at Taggart Stadium, Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza, 3rd and 4 now for Montour, as they have it on the Newcastle 7-yard line, up 7-0, trying to add a second touchdown to the board here in what would be a really disastrous start to the second half. The Canes fumbled on their first possession of the second half, and now Montour's taking advantage of that. Archie Collins is in the backfield. Shotgun for Bennett. Rogers in motion away from us. Snap to Bennett. He's going to go to Collins. No, he's going to keep. And there is the play that they needed for the moment, but Bennett keeps working. Bennett driving, and Bennett is going to carry the pile to the 5 for a gain of 2, so that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah. Here's again, the Canes are getting in the backfield, making initial contact, but they're making it up high against a player who can shed those tackles.
There's a flag down right near the end of the play in the tackle where the ball was taken down, where Bennett was taken down.
Well, this could be very intriguing how this penalty goes. I'm guessing it may be against the Canes.
Taking a long time to discuss this. And if it is against Newcastle, that is going to give Montour.
You don't see penalties against the ball carrier too often.
No. It's going to be a face mask against the Canes, so that is going to be an automatic first down for Montour, and that's going to set up 1st and goal for the Spartans with 6:57 to go in the third quarter.
Huge scenario, 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. They'll get the first down on the penalty, and they'll have 4 cracks if necessary from inside the 5.
Up front, it's DJ Gordon, Jaden Schaefer, and Quaylen Davis along that defensive front for the Canes. They're going to need a big stop here. 1st and goal for Montour. Now, they still have it marked as 4th down.
Now, it has to be 1st and goal, right?
Yeah, and
are they going to say 4th and 1? They're going to say he didn't get enough. They have to get to the 3rd-yard line.
It's half the distance where they were, so it was only a 3-yard penalty.
Right.
So not quite enough. So it is still 4th down. They go. Bennett to the outside, and Bennett is in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Brandon Bennett, his 2nd touchdown run of the night from 4 yards out, and with 6:17 to go in the third quarter. Did they call the holding penalty? It looks like they might have.
I think you are correct.
Yeah,
so they're going to waive that off. That's a huge offensive penalty here against the Spartans. That's going to bring the ball out to the 13-yard line, and it'll be 1st down and goal from there. Instead of an untouched touchdown by Bennett, the defense will have an opportunity to try to make 4 stops in a row.
So it's going to take it back to the 13. They still have 4th down marked, so it's going to be 4th down.
Yes, you're right.
Because it was only half the distance on the penalty, and the penalty would have only been 3 yards. They needed 4.
So it was from the line of scrimmage, so yeah.
So Bennett takes off. Bennett's got a window. Bennett.
He's going to be short.
And he is going to be well short, and there is your stop that the Newcastle defense needed. So that was 4th and 11. Again, just to recap that, the penalty on Newcastle was half the distance. So they needed 4. They needed 7. They got 3.5, so it was still 4th down at that point because of the position on the field. They didn't get that. The holding penalty on the touchdown backs it up, and then Newcastle's defense makes a big play there to hold, and they'll take over at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that's what a huge penalty call against Montour to prevent that second touchdown from going on the board and keeping Newcastle in this ball game.
Graham's going to option near side. It's Moore. Short gain, and he's upended by Stern. He dives forward towards the 15, but it is a solid run on 1st down for Moore. Give him about 7 on the play. ticking at 5:47 to go, and it's still 7-0. Again, the winner gets either Trinity or Aliquippa. That game was tied at 7 at the half. But the big story in that game, Marcus Council back at quarterback for Aliquippa. That is huge for the Quips. They've needed that steady hand at the quarterback spot. Graham throws, slant, caught Harrison. First down over the 20 to the 21-yard line on a gain of 7. And Graham got his second completion of the night. Harrison his first catch.
That's what they're going to need to do, those slant patterns, something quick to get to their receivers. They got great playmakers in Cox and Lemon, Harris and Davis, so they got a lot of different players they can get the ball to. If they can get them on a one-on-one scenario, there could be a scenario where you can get deep into the defensive back of Montour.
5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Graham out of the shotgun. Motion away from us is Davis, and we're going to get movement up front. Flags everywhere. This is going to go against the Canes and cost them 5.
And it's the pre-snap penalties right now for Newcastle, pushing them back behind the sticks here on drives here in the second half. It has hurt them.
So get this all sorted out. Backs Newcastle up 1st and 15 now from the 17. 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Moore stays in the backfield with Graham. 2 underclassmen in the backfield. Shotgun to the freshman Graham. He looks, dumps it off. Moore sidesteps one defender, tries to get started towards the 20, and then he's cut down right around the 17-yard line. So it's not going to be much there, no gain, and that's going to bring up the 2nd and 15.
And that just unfortunately looked kind of a screenplay that just went nowhere there for the Canes. Great defense there by Montours as the clock runs down under 4 minutes and 30 seconds here.
2nd and 15 from the 17. Graham again operating out of the shotgun. Snap, going to pitch it near side. Moore wasn't even looking.
They're going to call that an incomplete? Yes.
And there is a flag down. There's a flag down in the backfield.
Maybe that was a pre-snap penalty.
It's going to be they're going to call a
roughing the
passer on Montour.
Yeah. That's 15 yards.
So it's going to be an automatic first down for Newcastle. Penalty starting to become a factor here in this game. 2 in the third quarter against Montour. The holding penalty essentially cost them points. Took a touchdown off the board. This one's going to take the ball up to the 32, where it's 1st and 10 with 4:08 to go. So Newcastle can't really move the ball offensively, but they're getting help on the penalties here on this drive.
Yeah, they played this entire game on their side of the 50.
Snap to Graham, he fakes. Marino going to air it out, looking deep. Separation with Harrison.
Out of bounds.
And it's out of bounds, picked off by Bennett, but he was out of bounds.
Yeah, Graham's pass there just got hung up in the air and just was kind of a lob pass down the left sideline by the Montour bench. And it was either going to be in play or out of bounds, and that was about 2 yards into the white. So not even an opportunity to come down for the play for Newcastle. But if he got it out there ahead of the defensive back, that could have been a big play.
2nd and 10 from the 32. This Montour defense has 5 interceptions in the last 3 games. More than that in a second as Graham takes a snap. Graham going to keep. Marino Graham up the middle. Nowhere to go. Marino Graham is crunched, and he might have gotten a yard to the 33. Whole swarm that time of Spartans there on the stop. So one of the reasons why this secondary has gotten better for Montour, this was what Lucero said before the game tonight, and a big reason why Bennett has become much more poised at the quarterback spot. They started playing him on defense after the Newcastle game. So he's had to learn more so the defensive spot. Remember, he didn't play on that side of the ball the first time, and now he's out on an island one-on-one covering receivers, and Lucero said that really has helped his development in the last couple of weeks. Graham going to throw it near side. Catch is made by Davis, trying to stiff-arm the defender on 3rd down, and Stern is going to wrestle him down shy of the 40-yard line, and Quaylen Davis is shaken up.
Yeah, you know, Eric, that's a combination of what I would call you're getting a benefit from less is more. because they probably took less responsibility away from him on the offensive side and more in the sense of you just need to be a runner and let him learn the defense over the last 5 weeks. And it has changed, the way the Spartans have played. And I think that has been the biggest difference here between the two games that we've seen these two teams play. Newcastle's defense is hung in there strong. I mean, other than that opening drive, they've been, but they have not broken here. Yeah, they had a few breaks their way. They had to do it, but that's important.
Let's take a timeout here with I-10 to Quaylen Davis near the field of play with 3:06 to go in the third quarter. You're watching the WPIAL 4A quarterfinals on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Tonight, someone is cold, hungry, and forgotten. At City Rescue Mission, we're more than a shelter. We're a bright beacon of light in our community, serving those in need to make our community stronger and healthier. We offer real help and real hope, and that hope is Jesus. We serve him by serving others in love, grace, mercy, and compassion. But we can't do it without you. Be the reason someone's story is rewritten in Christ. Give today at cityrescuemission.org.
At Montour Spartans Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedorBonnerLaw.com for more information.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, and Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance, and receive the personalized service you deserve.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
So Newcastle decides to go for it here on 4th and 3 after the Quaylen Davis catch. He is off the field right now with an injury. Graham the snap. They are going to go for it. He fakes. Graham cuts back. Marino Graham the first down to keep it alive for Newcastle as he gets to the 44-yard line.
Gutsy call there by Coach Mazzacco. I was going through it in my own head. What do you do on 4th and 4? I said originally, you may want to go for it here. And I said, well, there's still 15 minutes left to play in this ball game. If you punt the ball away, your defense is playing well, you may get good field position. The freshman comes through big time on the keeper.
1st and 10 from the 44. Shotgun for Graham to the right. Graham looks to his left. Slant, catch made. Harrison inside position. And Damian Harrison is going to take it to the house. 56 yards for the Newcastle touchdown. With 2:15 to go in the third quarter, the Newcastle offense comes to life. The freshman to the veteran, a point after away from a tie.
What a call there by Coach Mazzacco on 4th down, keeping it with his freshman in Marino Graham as he picks up 6 yards of the necessary 4, keeps it alive, goes back to pass with him and hits Harrison over the middle on the slant, and the big man just turns on the Jets and turns it into a huge play. And we're just a point away from tying this ball game up. And I won't be surprised if they're going for 2
They
here.
are going for 2, at least it looks like it now. Chase Commodore, who has been the extra point kicker, this team is only 15 of 26 in extra points this season, but Commodore, since he's taken over, is 9 of 11. So they're going to opt to try to take the lead here. With 2:15 to go in the third, Graham out of the shotgun. Walker with him. Graham fakes. Marito Graham up the middle. He's in the end zone, and he's got the 2-point conversion for the lead. And life at Taggart Stadium as Marito Graham and Damian Harrison give the Canes an 8-7 lead with 2:15 to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. Newcastle in front for the first time tonight, 8-7. You're watching the WPIAL quarterfinals on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. Fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily. Follow Joseph's Marketplace on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates or stop in to see what's cooking each day. Come hang out at the brand new cafe and bakery, full of great coffee, drinks, sandwiches, snacks, sweets, and free Wi-Fi. In a rush? Go to josephsnc.com and place your cafe order online. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
Your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary: 8 plays in 90 yards, aided by 2 penalties on that drive by Montour. Get Newcastle out of the shadow of their own end zone. 3 locations: Shenley Square Plaza, Jameson Hospital, and the Grove City Outlets. Specials daily at the Cafe and Bakery. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915. 8-7 Newcastle in front. And they've got the lead, 56 yards. Marino Graham to Damian Harrison. And then Graham, the 2-point conversion run. And all of a sudden, this place explodes.
Yeah. One big play here actually 2 big plays back-to-back for Newcastle. Changes the atmosphere here at Taggart Field completely.
And the Canes defense now come up with a play. And what is the psyche of Montour? After they have worked so hard in this game, they have dominated this game tonight. Outside of that drive by the Canes, it's a short kickoff, and it's going to be returned to the 40. That is Amari Wright, who's getting drilled. And now Brandon Bennett and company will take over, 1st and 10. You know, this Newcastle offense, 18 touchdowns of 20 or more yards this season. That's offense, defense, and special teams combined. You can now make it 19 after that 56-yard touchdown pass.
And that's what they're built on. They're built on their ability to get into open spaces and take advantage of their speed. And they have done that here tonight on that big play to Harrison from Graham.
1st and 10 from the 40 for the sophomore Bennett. And we got a flag and some movement. This is going to go against the Spartans.
Yeah, another false start.
We're going to talk about it here. This should be against Montour. Quaylen Davis, by the way, is not out there defensively for Newcastle.
Oh, they're going to say they're in the neutral zone.
Wow.
Defense.
That's the 5th penalty on Newcastle tonight. Just 23 yards. But still, penalties starting to become a bit of a factor in this game. 1st and 5 now for the Spartans. Madilli and Collins are in the backfield. The wing is Rogers.
Let's see if they take advantage of this 1st and 5 and go deep.
And Bennett is going to hand off to Archie. Archie bounces to the outside. Collins turns on the Jets, dives for the sticks, and a 1st down. Tackled out of bounds by Marquise Wise, but he's got the 1st down for Montour with 2:04 to go in the 3rd.
Well, they keep it on the ground, and Archie does a great job bouncing off a couple players and taking advantage of the sideline to pick up those 5 yards.
Multi-purpose back, 6 total touchdowns this season for Collins, over 500 yards of offense. They go back to him, and Archie this time is going to get hit right around the 49. You can thank the big guy, Jaden Schaefer, the all-conference tackle. He made contact first, and that's going to bring up 2nd down with 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. 1 yard gain that time for Collins. Caden Halajo is back in the game. Halajo is back in the game for Montour. They're going to go double tights, Verdream and Rogers, and they're each way. 2nd and 9 as we come up on a minute to go in the third. Bennett the snap. Bennett going to keep. Bennett up the middle. Bennett got popped, turned around, and driven back towards the 50. And that wall of red jerseys makes another big stand for this Newcastle defense to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and this Taggart Stadium crowd is becoming a 12th man here. It's going to be interesting to see how Montour deals with it, because they can see the excitement in the air here as we are running down under 35 seconds here to play in the third quarter.
Montour will have to run a play. About a 14-second, 17-second differential between the game and the play clock. Will probably be the final play of the third. It's 3rd and 9 from the 49. Bennett the snap. Bennett on a delay handoff to Halajo, and he is going to get wrapped up and thrown down at the line. And there's Gianni Molina, and this Newcastle defense has recharged itself.
It certainly has. It has found a new level here, feeding off the crowd, getting into the backfield, bringing Halajo down for a -1 run, and 4th down and 10 from midfield here. And now a timeout taken here by Montour.
Now the clock is going to expire. That is the end of the third quarter. Newcastle behind Marino Graham's touchdown pass to Damian Harrison, and his 2-point conversion have taken a 1-point lead. We go to the 4th here at Taggart Stadium on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Yeah.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Uber Teen Accounts. Introducing an Uber account for your teenager. Scan the QR code to sign up for an Uber Teen account.
Kick off the school year with a visit to Sims Cafe on Wilmington Road, serving breakfast, lunch, and signature beverages. Stop in, give them a call, or order online at simscafe.net. Kids 10 and under get a free pancake or waffle every Saturday. With new specials weekly, it's no wonder Sims Cafe is where sandwiches equal smiles.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Taggart Stadium. Eric Thomas, Tim Continenza, our producer tonight, Matt Flannery. And we've got a good one now after Marino Graham's touchdown pass in the third. It's 8-7 Newcastle as we begin the fourth quarter.
Eric, this is an interesting situation on 4th down and basically 10 coming up here for the Spartans. They're going to send the punt unit out, but you've got to be careful here if you're Newcastle, because this is a perfect scenario for something like some type of a trickeration here, because you're at midfield, you're trailing by 1 if you're Spartans. You don't really want to give up the ball. In the same vein, you're not afraid to gamble at this stage of the game with the ball at midfield.
Ty Cox will go back deep to receive the punt. Xander Stern, it's a good snap. Stern puts his foot into it and gets a nice one away. Cox has to retreat back behind the 20 to catch that. Get around, they'll call it the 18-yard line. So now Newcastle with the lead and the ball, and 11:54 to go. My, how things have changed here tonight on Halloween.
It didn't take much, but this is a huge, huge stand for both teams. Newcastle can really establish something here if they can get a few first downs, take some of this clock away, and ultimately put the ball back in the end zone and really kind of deflate this Spartans team.
They're going to go trickeration, a little end around to Lemon. Lemon trying to get to the corner. Lemon outruns everybody and does. And he is tripped up, lost his balance actually near the 34-yard line, 33-yard line. Let's see where they mark him. 27 is actually where they're going to say he stepped out of bounds, but a good game by Lemon of 9 on that little flip pass to him in the backfield.
Yeah, simple scenario there. Let's get it into the little motor that could and Chase Lemon. And, man, he is a heart of gold. He doesn't give up on any play. And when you get a player like that and he can get to the edges, good things can happen.
Gianni Molina is in the game at tight end in place of Quaylen Davis. Lost presumably for the night with an arm injury. Snap. Graham, he thought about a shovel pass, and he's going to have to eat it back on the 25. Graham lost it. He hesitated there, and Tyson Verdream got in the backfield quickly in his face, and Graham loses 2 that time. It'll be 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
Yeah, actually a good decision by Graham. He looked inside. If he flipped it, very possibly could have been knocked down or intercepted, which either one would not have been great for Newcastle. Hang on to the ball, bring up the next down, and an opportunity here for the Canes.
3rd down for Newcastle. It is a long way to go, but a short distance. 3rd and 2 from the 25 for the Canes. Again, Molina's in there. He's tight end on the near side of the formation. Shotgun snap for Graham. Cox is in the slot on the near side, and we got movement up front. MJ Lucas jumped across the line, and that 5 yards is going to give Newcastle enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, and once he got into the neutral zone, he basically even made contact. He tried to hop and stop, but once he made it into the neutral zone, 5 yards and a 1st down here for the Canes. So huge play that results in the penalty and a 1st down here for the Canes. And they'll get that 1st down without running a play.
You'll see the scores on the bottom line here. If you're watching the game tonight on the NFHS Network, we'll have a complete scoreboard for you on the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show shortly. Snap to Graham. He's going to keep Marino to the sideline. Marino, and he's going to step out of bounds. We got a flag all the way in from the secondary. Thrown by the back judge tonight. And let's see what we got here. We're going to confer with it, and our white hat will inform us of what the damage is. Now, Dylan Rogers pointed towards his side. This came in from the back, so this could be anything. It's a face mask, and it's on Montour. That is a crippling penalty against the Spartans. Tim, in the second half, they've had penalties of 10, 15, 5, and 15.
Yeah, they've been their own worst enemy here. There's no question they played an excellent first half, but in the second half, they have made the mistakes that's given Newcastle really life.
Graham going to pump. Now he's going to take off. Lobs it. Got a man wide open. It's Lemon. Lemon is going to take off down the sideline. Collins to beat. Chase Lemon to the pylon. Touchdown, Newcastle. Unbelievable. Chase Lemon and Marino Graham connect, and the Canes have extended the lead.
65-yard touchdown reception there by Chase Lemon. And it was Marino moving out to the left, bringing the defense towards him, and he just throws over top of him, gives it to Lemon, and Lemon just turns on the Jets. Once again, Chase Lemon showing what he could do. He scored a touchdown last time these two teams met. He did it again here tonight.
Nobody out there with Lemon, and I'm telling you, he had to turn on the Jets at the end of the play because he's going against Collins, who's one of the fastest on this Montour team, and he extended that all the way to the pylon, and the touchdown. They'll go for 2. They spread the field out here. It's Harrison one-on-one with Collins. Bottom of your screen. Near side of the formation if you're listening to us. Graham going to keep. Graham thought about optioning, but then he's going to get taken down back near the 10. And that 2-point try is nullified. So it's going to stay at 14-7 with 10:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Marino Graham, 65-yard touchdown pass to Chase Lemon, extends the lead to 14-7. This is the WPIAL 4A quarterfinals on the NFHS Network and also the Lawrence County Sports Network powered by LCAP.
Finna make common sense cool again. No tripping, I'm the man, caught slipping. I'll be 20, 30, 50 high. Something to send to Uncle Sam. No, it's hitting fans, only so in fertile land. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Check his post, he ain't got it. Send plans, more than likely, she about it. What he posts, more than likely, he ain't about it. Caught a wave. Now we finally making noise. Y'all quiet, y'all timid, y'all shy. Illinois, put in work, finally got it sound. We got it, Illinois. Y'all ain't even got no poise. Y'all know I'm the boy, I'm the boy, I'm the boy.
Attorneys Parada, Jones, and McCree are dedicated to giving their clients the best chance at a positive result. From personal injury, criminal and corporate law, real estate, municipal law, to wills and estates, their team will work with you through every step of the legal process. With Parada, Jones, and McCree, excellence is our guarantee.
Nick's Auto Body, trust your body in our hands. From a scratch to a dent to a major repair, Nick's your man. Making your car look as good as new. Nobody does it better than Nick's Auto Body. Trust your body in our hands. Nick's Auto Body, trust your body in our hands.
That touchdown brought to you by Parada, Jones, and McCree. The Joseph's Marketplace Drive summary, 3 plays in 82 yards. Joseph's Marketplace, Newcastle's family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop, 14-7. Newcastle now in front of Montour, and it's going to be up to the Canes defense with 10:10 to go after that 65-yard touchdown pass from Marino Graham to Chase Lemon. They go a little squibber again, and it's going to be recovered near the 34-yard line, and that's Amari Wright once again.
Montour will take over, 1st and 10.
You know, you go back to what this program has been through prior to Fred Mazzacco getting here, and the previous regime just could not establish anything. They really, you know, once proud tradition kind of gone, and Mazzacco last year when they went 4-0 to start things, they were more the cardiac Canes than anything. This year, there's been some cardiac moments, including tonight, but overall, this program has done a complete 180 from the previous 3 years. Now, they were in the playoffs in 21, but you go the 2 years after that, they were a nothing factor in the WPIAL, and Fred Mazzacco has changed all of that.
I think what he has done is brought, you know, faith into this program and belief that they can compete and play again. But more importantly, I think what he's done is take advantage of the playmakers that he has on his squad each and every year.
Alajo is across the line of scrimmage up to the 39.
That's his, 20th carry of the game.
DJ Gordon made the stop that time for Newcastle. This defense for Newcastle has really risen to the occasion here in the second half. And it looked bleak there for a minute. When they fumbled on their opening drive of the third quarter, you thought to yourself, my goodness, this is going to unravel quickly. And not only did they benefit really from a half the distance penalty, but then Montour on a penalty of its own took points off the board as Bennett back to pass, looking down the field for Barron, and it's almost intercepted.
Lemon was there, and he played the ball as a center fielder, and it went right through his hands. You got to give the receiver credit for making a play.
We do have a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at it here, and there might have been contact on Bennett after the play, and that is going to be a first down for Montour after the play. The contact on Bennett, and Fred Mazzacco is going to argue his case. It ain't going to matter. It's a 15-yard penalty against Newcastle.
That's a huge penalty. Gives you the first down, keeps the drive alive.
It's the 11th first down tonight for Montour. If I would have told you that Montour only had 11 first downs, considering they had 6, make that 5 on that opening drive. They've only had 6 since. That is remarkable. As they hand it off to Collins to the near side, crunched by Molina. He slipped through Lemon, and then Molina stayed with him. It's going to be a carry inside the 45 down to around the 42-yard line. So a gain of 4 that time for Collins, who's become the main ball carrier here in the last 2 drives.
Right now, they're just going back to what they've done in the primarily throughout this ball game is run the ball. Not trying to be too fancy, just get into their backs, get it in, let this offensive line create some holes for them.
Second down at 6. Bennett, keeper out of the shotgun.
He has room.
Oh, Bennett's got room. Good move. Bennett stays on his feet and gets the first down inside the 30. And he is brought down there by Damian Harrison and also Travis Wetzel, I believe, was in on that stop. First down, though.
So far, the Canes here in the second half, and primarily since that opening drive, has been a bend-don't-break defense. Come up big when you need it. They're going to need a big stand here now on first down and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
At the 29, up by 7. It's Medilli and Halajo in the backfield. Rogers in motion. Snap. Hand off Halajo, and he is to the 25 and pushed backwards. So give him 4. Again, he has not had the numbers he's been used to in his current run. That's 21 carries now for 45 yards, but those are about as good of 45 yards on 21 carries as you can ask for out of a running back. He has been very effective in this game.
Yeah, when he's been able to penetrate the line of scrimmage, he's gotten positive yards. The problem is that he has about 7 or 8 carries that either is a negative carry or no gain of those 22 carries.
2nd and 8 from the 26. 7.5 to go. Bennett, the keeper. Bennett right side. Mason Cook is there to bring him down back around the 26. No gain.
And there's that gang defense there for the Canes. Keeping an eye on Bennett being able to, and they went low that time. They made a hit and then went low to secure the tackle. And right now that's something that they have to make sure they do is secure the tackles. Big third down coming up here for both teams.
3rd down and 8. Bennett scrambles. Bennett takes off. Bennett looks. Bennett going to lob it down the field. The pass is intercepted by Damian Harrison in the end zone. Harrison brings it out 15, 20, and clipped as he gets over the 20, and a late flag is going to add 15 more to the end of the tackle as he was clipped low on the sideline. And Harrison, slow to get up, but he picked the ball off in the end zone. That is his 5th interception of the season. And with 6:43 to go, Newcastle in the driver's seat. He literally took a touchdown away from the defender, from the offensive player.
Yeah, it was just great defense, making sure you make the play, get inside. It's going to be a 15-yard dead ball foul, I believe, against
Yeah, they clipped him low. They went to the knees when they tackled him out of bounds. There's your Madur Bonner Law change in possession. My goodness.
What a huge play by this defense. I'm talking about being bend, don't break. Come up with a huge play, getting the interception, the turnover. That's the first turnover of the game. Or second, of the game, and a big one here for the Canes.
They will take over 1st and 10 on their own 26 with 6:43 to go. This place has come
Erupted.
completely unglued in the last 15 minutes.
It's the eye of a hurricane. Simple as that. Everything around it has just been huge.
The bigger factor becomes the health of Harrison and Davis.
Yes.
Because of injuries here. Harrison is back out there. He is not 100% though. You can see him limp into his position here wide on the near side. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Newcastle. Graham out of the shotgun. He's got 2 on the near side. Cox alone up top. Snap. Graham fakes the pitch. Going to keep. Marino to the outside. Slip the defender. There goes Marino. Graham down the sideline. 1st down and chased out of bounds by Halajo, but he's into Montour territory to the Spartans' 43-yard line.
Huge run there by Graham. Once he got to the edge, he was able to really hit the afterburner and take it down the sideline, picking up those extra yardage past the sticks, getting that 1st down. We haven't seen that explosiveness out of Graham here tonight. That's the first time we've seen where he has the ball in his hand and he's just gliding down the lane.
Gain of 23 for Graham. Beg your pardon, 17 for Graham, but a 1st down. Not been the night that he wants running the football, but still he has been effective of late. Hands it off now to Walker. Walker to the outside. We got a flag come in. This is going to be against Newcastle for a hold. Tackle by Archie Collins, but the Canes will back up 10 with 6:31 to play. Said the penalties are becoming a factor. They are.
This is a huge one against the Canes. They'll bring the ball all the way back to the 47-yard line of Newcastle. And they'll be behind the sticks by 10 yards. So first down and 20 coming up here.
Montour's got 8 for 85 in terms of penalties. Newcastle 7 for 48. Newcastle's had a couple of costly ones. They took points off the board and then gave Newcastle 2 first downs on the drive to go ahead. And now just added 15 after the interception, but Newcastle faces a 1st and 20. Shotgun snap to Graham, pressure. Graham steps up, Graham's got nowhere to go, and MJ Lucas pops him. And we're going to get some extracurriculars after the play, but no flag. Graham lost yardage all the way back to the 41. It's a loss of 6. Graham's got 6 carries for 14 yards tonight. But again, he missed a big chunk of the game after he came out and had to get checked for a concussion. Newcastle fans want a flag after that loss by Graham, but to no avail.
More importantly, a 2nd down and 26, and the clock continues to roll. You got to keep the ball in play and successful to keep this clock running if you're Newcastle.
Graham, the shotgun snap, looks, he pumps, now he's going to take off, comes near side, nothing there, he slides, and now Archie Collins comes in late, sliding into him, and again, no flag. Well, that was more questionable than the previous one.
That was definitely a late hit there after the play was dead.
It's another loss of 2 for Graham, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 28. At that point, he's a defenseless runner.
Yeah, once he's down because once you give yourself up, you're done. The play's over.
Collins, I know he's got momentum. It's tough to stop that, but that should have been a flag.
That was at least a second or two after the play.
3rd and 27. Graham going to air it out, looking deep, and there's nobody there. Tried to connect with Lemon deep to no avail, and they're going to have to punt it away with 4:29 to play.
Well, not the series that you were hoping for when you had 1st down and 10 at the 43-yard line of Montour's, and then you had the 10-yard penalty, the sack, and the loss, and now it's a 4th down and 27 punting the ball away. Here's Omar Thomas to do the chores.
Pretty good tonight. That drop kick, though, this one's going to be way short. Goes straight up in the air. It does take a Newcastle bounce, and it'll be down back at the 20-yard line. So Montour's got 80 yards to go, 2 timeouts, and 4:16 to play.
Down at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Montour.
Hanging in the balance, a trip to the WPIAL 4A semifinals against either Trinity or Aliquippa. We'll have a full scoreboard for you coming up after the game tonight. Laurel is into the mercy rule with a 35-0 lead over Jefferson Morgan. Here we got 14-7. And Montour trailing in this contest now has the ball. And a chance to tie it late with Bennett and company out of the shotgun on 1st down.
As you can hear the crowd getting into each and every play here as this game gets down into the 4th quarter.
Alajo the carry on 1st down to the 25, tackled by Gianni Molina. Carry number 22 tonight for that young man. To 50 yards on the Newcastle Transit out-of-town scoreboard. It's 14-14 Aliquippa and Trinity. So that game is tight. This game is tight. Everything is tight right now. Just 5 minutes, or rather into the 4th quarter. Trinity had a chance to take the lead in that game just before Aliquippa tied it up. On 2nd down, there's the carry once again, and that's going to go to Halajo once again. And he is to the 30, and they're going to give him 6, and he's got enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, nice run. Getting that 1st down, keeping the momentum going here as the clock continues to run, but 4 more downs here for the Spartans.
1st and 10 from the 30 for Montour. Barron and Stern on the near side of the formation. Halajo in the backfield with Bennett. The wing on the far side. Bennett snap. Bennett looks. Bennett steps up. The sophomore going to scramble. And he is going to finally go down in the backfield. The ball came loose. They're going to say Bennett was down as Mason Cook was in the backfield. They finally get to Bennett in the backfield. DJ Gordon also there on the sack. Going to take the ball back to the 25 and a loss of 5. Here's a look at it again if you're watching.
Yeah, he steps up and then moves back and comes back through, but he runs right in, and they went low, and they grabbed him by the ankles and not allowing him to get loose.
That was close on the fumble, but it appeared Bennett was down. Snap, Bennett on second down and long. He pumps, nothing open. He looks, going to sling it over the middle. The catch is made. It is Barron who makes the catch, and he's to the 35 and no further. A gain of 10. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for Montour with 2:13 to go. 4-down territory for sure.
Somebody's got a call.
Bennett's only thrown for 26 yards tonight. He's been much more effective as a runner.
Down under 2 minutes.
3rd down and manageable to go. No, Bennett keeps. Bennett is going to have the 1st down. He's into Newcastle territory and down the far sideline and tackled inside the 35-yard line at the 34 of the Canes. 31 yards for Bennett on 3rd down.
Huge pickup here for the Spartans. We're down under 1:40 here to play in tonight's game, and they have the ball at the 34-yard line of the Canes.
95 seconds to go. Bennett out of the shotgun. Halajo in the backfield. Stern, slant, catch, 30, 25 to the 20, cuts back 15, out of bounds near the 10-yard line. And it's going to set up a 1st and goal for Montour at the 10-yard line on a gain, that time of 24 from Bennett to Stern. Conscious Insurance timeout call with 1:21 to go.
Well, the challenge is now on this defense. They'll be 1st and goal basically at the 10-yard line, and it will be up to this defense to make 4 plays in a row to keep this Spartan team out of the end zone. It's going to be difficult. You've seen how explosive they have been in the last 2 plays. Bennett on that big run down on the left sideline, and then the pass play to Stearns, who is able to get to the edge on the right side and take it down to the 10-yard line.
1:21 to go in the 4th quarter. 14-7 Newcastle. 2 second-half touchdowns. Both passes from Marino Graham, one to Damian Harrison and one to Chase Lemon. They went for 2 on both. After the second one, Graham was stopped. So it kept it at 14-7. You think about the ebbs and flows in this game. Montour took points off the board on a holding penalty on a Brandon Bennett touchdown. They then got nothing out of that possession. Newcastle took over, got 2 penalties to aid them on that drive, took the lead, and then added to it on another touchdown pass. Here it's Bennett on 1st and 10 from the 10. 81 seconds to go. Bennett keeps. Bennett left side. Bennett cuts back. Bennett inching his way towards the goal line. He's stonewalled near the 5 and is going to be tackled at about the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 8 that time. It'll be 2nd and goal for Montour with 1:03 to go.
Big run there by Bennett again. Shedding tackles, finding spaces, weaving his way through, picking up big yardage there. Just outside the 2-yard line.
Ball is wedged between the 2 and the 3. 2nd and goal, under a minute to go. The clock runs. Bennett with Madilli and Halajo in the backfield. He fakes, he keeps to the outside. Bennett angling, touchdown Montour for the moment. There's a flag down on the play in the backfield. So we'll check that. It's going to be a hold against Montour, and for the 2nd time tonight, they've taken points off the board on a holding penalty.
Yeah, that flag came out immediately before Bennett scored. It came out as he moved out to his left to try to get to the end zone.
He's going to take the ball back to the 13 with 35 seconds left. Montour still has 2 timeouts left. Second holding penalty on a Bennett touchdown run tonight nullifies what would be potentially a tying touchdown in this case. Snap, Bennett looks. Bennett dancing. Bennett takes off. Bennett from the backside. He's got to take off. He gets drilled, and he's taken down near the 15-yard line. Montour's got to call a timeout. The clock continues to run, and they finally stop it with 23 seconds to go. Their second timeout of the half.
Great pursuing defense here by the Canes as they were able to roll out to the right and chase Bennett and get him in the backfield and then bring him down back just for a 1-yard loss, but a huge loss, and kept him in bounds, thus causing a timeout taken here by Montour.
If you're watching on the NFHS network, there's the replay, and that pursuit, Mason Cook was the one who had him.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 14 with 23 seconds left. Again, the winner will play Aliquippa or Trinity next Friday night at a neutral site. Sites and times will be released. It's going to be 3rd and 14.
3rd and goal from the 14.
Yep, this will be the 15th third down that Montour has faced tonight. See if the Canes can hang on.
Gotta make contact and make a secure tackle is what you gotta be preaching to the guys. Make sure you make good contact on the ball carrier.
You can see on our video feed the camera shaking here at Taggart Stadium. That's how loud and vibrant this crowd has gotten in the second half. 3rd down and goal from the 14, 26 ticks to go. Bennett in the shotgun, Halajo flanks him. 2 receivers near side are Barron and Stern. He's got Collins to the top of the formation. Bennett on 3rd and goal, the snap, looks. Bennett comes back to his second read, lobs it to the end zone. The catch is made for the touchdown in the back corner of the end zone by Xander Stern with 20 seconds left. A 14-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Bennett to Xander Stern, and we're a point after away from a tie game.
Now the question comes, and I imagine you're on the road, you'll kick the extra point and try to go to overtime. But do you play for the win here, Eric? That is the big question. Do you really believe in your offense, in Bennett and Jalisco, in Stern and company to make one more big play and try to walk out of Taggart Stadium with a victory?
Well, they're talking about it on the far side.
And it's an important question. It's a legitimate question to ask. Do you want to go? Yeah, I think they're going to go for 2.
They are going to go for it and try to win this game, it would appear. Yes, they are, as Bennett and company come back out on offense.
Here's where you have to know your assignments and do not jump. You don't want to give them an extra 1.5 yards closer. This starts at the 3-yard line here for this point after.
20 seconds to go to try to take the lead. 14-13. Newcastle for the moment in front. Motion by Barron. Bennett looks. Bennett going to roll out. Bennett trying to angle to the corner. Bennett slips and he falls. And the Newcastle defense has held. They take the lead. They keep the lead at 14-13. This was a well-designed play. There's the pursuit. And Bennett tried to cut back and he slipped and fell. And the game for the moment is in Newcastle's favor with 20 seconds to go.
Well, the onside kick will be coming, so you have to recover it. You have to know what you're doing. Yeah, they had a great play call, and they had it in the right player's hand, and Bennett, and he went to his left as he was trying to come to a stop and make a cut. He lost his footing and went down, and that ended the 2-point play and secures the 1-point lead with 20 seconds here to play here for the Canes.
So an onside kick will be coming here for Montour. Newcastle's got to get the hands out there for sure.
You got to make sure all you got to do is secure the ball easier said than done, and go down. You don't have to be a hero here. The hero is making the play and getting onto the field and securing your offense to take that knee to go home and play in the next round of the Whipple Championships. Secure the ball. That is what you're looking to here to do.
See who Newcastle gets out there. Cox and Lemon are usually the deep guys. Marino Graham is going to go deep on the return. So they're going to move
Everybody else up, yeah.
Moore, Stewart, Wise, Walker, Harrison. All these guys are up. Lemon is up as well. Cox is up. Wetzel is up. And Mardez Stewart all up on the front line. So Graham is going to be the deep returner with Wise as Dalton Young has it teed up on the 40. You know what's coming.
Do you pick one person and just hit it hard, or do you try to roll it?
Young will squib it, and it takes a one hop, and Damian Harrison is able to corral it at the 45.
I tell you what, I know we're in the middle of the Baseball World Series, but that was like a shortstop going up high to grab it on a bad bounce, and he came down with it, and a huge, huge play there to secure that ball on that onside kick.
Damian Harrison has what will amount to the winning touchdown tonight to give Montour the lead. It's actually the two-point conversion by Graham that gave Montour the lead, but it was the touchdown pass to Harrison that got him on the board and cut this lead down to 7-6. Still 20 seconds left. Montour can stop the clock one more time. They have one timeout remaining.
Well, you do what you've done all season long. Get the ball in the hands of Graham and let him just take a knee. Obviously, you stall for a few seconds, then take the knee to try to take a few extra seconds off, but you don't want to do too much because you just want to secure play because they have one timeout and then you have to do it again.
So with this win, if Newcastle can hang on in the next 20 seconds, they will go to the semifinals in 4A to take on either Aliquippa or Trinity. We'll have a complete scoreboard for you coming up after we're done here on the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show.
They'll have two safeties behind the quarterback to cover any bad snaps that may happen.
Aliquippa has taken the lead on Trinity with 19 seconds to go in that game, so we might be headed for another Parkway clash as Graham will take the snap and take the knee. Montour will not stop the clock.
They're going to
final
concede.
Timeout, and Newcastle comes back. They storm back. They were dominated in the first half. The Canes got off to a shaky start in the third quarter. They shake it off, and they go to the semifinals to likely take on Aliquippa next Friday night at a neutral site, and they win it tonight 14-13. We'll take a timeout and come back with the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show. A thriller here tonight at Taggart Stadium. The final home game of the year at Taggart Stadium is one for the books as Newcastle rallies to win it tonight 14-13 over Montour. You've been watching the WPIAL Class 4A quarterfinals on the Lawrence County Sports Network powered by LCAP. Stay tuned next for the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show.
Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
There's something special about this time of year. Spirits are high. The season is right. You can feel it in the air. It's fun. Made better with friends. Better with family. Better outside. And it all starts here. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by American Dairy Association Northeast. Your milk comes from a good place.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the Trib Live Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and at tribhssn.triblive.com.
Being the home team, to playing at home. And at LGKG, we have been your home team for over 90 years.
We're more than just a law firm. We're your friends, your neighbors, an advocate when life takes an unexpected turn.
We're not just lawyers that practice law. We live in this community, just like you.
When you need us most, we're at our best.
Back here in the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show, Newcastle wins it tonight by a final of 14-13, and they will go on to play in the semifinals of the Class 4A tournament in the WPIL. And we'll get a final score in that Aliquippa game for you coming up here in a moment. Let's take a look first here at our scoring recap. And, man, what a finish to this game tonight by Newcastle as they come back. They rally to win this thing in dramatic fashion. Our Creative Edge scoring recap for you. Go all the way back to the first quarter, the first drive of the night. And it was a 15-play, 68-yard drive that covered 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Brandon Bennett's 3-yard touchdown run, and the point after made it 7-0 Montour. In the third quarter, you got to go all the way to the third quarter of this one. And Marino Graham, finally, this is how this third quarter starts for Newcastle. They turn it over on the first drive of the second half. Montour takes advantage of it and goes down the field. A face mask penalty. Now, this is the crazy nature of playoff football. It's a half the distance penalty, so Montour needed 4 yards to get a first down. They only got 3 because it was a half the distance penalty. It was 7 yards, so it was 3.5 yards, give or take. On the fourth down, it's still fourth down at that point. Brandon Bennett takes off and runs for a touchdown. It's called back for a holding penalty, so it negates the touchdown. They back up Montour to the 10, the 13-yard line. They can't convert, and Newcastle takes over, so points come off the board for Montour, and the Canes take over. They finally get a touchdown then, a 56-yard touchdown pass. They're aided on 2 penalties committed by Montour in that drive that gave them 2 first downs to keep the drive alive. And then Marino Graham hits Damian Harrison for a 56-yard touchdown pass on an 8-play, 90-yard drive. They went for 2, and Graham got it. It made it 8-7 Newcastle at that point. Into the fourth quarter then with the lead. Marino Graham, a 65-yard touchdown pass to Chase Lemon. They went for 2 again, and Graham was stopped that time, but that drive went 3 plays, 82 yards. It kept the score at 14-7, so that's huge because Montour then late in the game gets down the field. They appear to have another touchdown by Brandon Bennett that would have potentially tied the game, but another holding penalty called on Montour backs them up. Bennett comes right back on a beautiful pass to Xander Stern in the back corner of the end zone, and they connect on it to bring it to 14-13. They go for 2. It's a well-designed quarterback run. Bennett cuts to the outside. He tries to cut back and slips. He falls down around the 5. The Newcastle defense holds at that point, and then they run out the final 20 seconds to win this game 14-13 and get to the semifinals. That's your Creative Edge scoring recap. Fully licensed and insured architecture and construction management services will help make your project a reality. More information is available at 724-652-1372. Let's look at the statistics here, and then we'll take one final timeout, come back and wrap things up here with our awards and everything. For Montour tonight, Brandon Bennett finishes 6 of 9. He was picked off once. He throws for 50 yards. Bennett was incredible on the ground tonight with the touchdown run and touchdown pass. He finishes with 18 carries for 112 yards tonight. Caden Halajo was better this game than he was the first game, although he didn't crack the century mark again. 23 carries for 56 yards tonight for the workhorse, but those 56 yards extremely effective tonight for this Montour offense. Cole Medilli chips in with 6 carries for 24 yards. Archie Collins with 3 carries for 10. All total, Montour runs the ball 50 times tonight for 202 yards. So the yardage is there, but they still don't get the job done as they fall by 1 point. But this team has been running the ball so well and did run the ball so well the final 4 games of the season to put them in prime position for an upset tonight. They just fall a point short. Receiving-wise for Montour, Barron, 2 catches for 14 yards. Stern, 3 for 40. Collins did not have a catch in this game, and Halajo had 1 for -4 yards for Montour. For Newcastle tonight, it took a while. Marino Graham was out of this game early with what appeared to potentially be a concussion. They test him out on the sideline. He's okay. He comes back in the game. He finishes 5 of 9 for 146 yards, really aided by those 2 touchdown passes of 65 and 63 yards that got him over the hump. Running-wise tonight, Newcastle, not super great numbers, but, hey, it was enough. They won by a point, 22 carries for 92 yards, as they were led by Jermaine Walker's 5 carries for 44 yards. And Kai Cox, when he was in there at quarterback, 5 carries for 25. Graham rendered basically ineffective tonight, 8 carries for 8 yards. Maurice Moore, 2 for 7. 1 for -1 for Damian Harrison, and 1 carry for 9 yards for Chase Lemon. Receiving-wise for the Canes tonight, 2 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown for Lemon, 2 for 63 and a tutty for Harrison, 1 catch for Moore for no yards, 1 catch for Quaylen Davis, who left this game with an injury, for 6 yards. Kai Cox tonight, no catches. So ineffective game running the football for Graham. Nothing from Kai Cox in the receiving game, although he does fill in nicely in terms of plays and kind of managing the game for Newcastle when Marino Graham was hurt, and they still win the game by a point. Just the resiliency of this team is something that was missing for so long. It was missing last year, too, if we're going to be honest about it. In Fred Mazzacco's first year, it's now back, and they're on their way to the semis.
And that's exactly it. There was really a gutsy game, a couple big plays for Newcastle. But more importantly, I thought the defense really gutted it out and did a great job. I mean, they really were under the gun in the first quarter, and as Montour went on a 15-play drive, basically taking up almost the entire quarter and going up 7-0, and it looked like right there that they may be in control of this ball game if they can run the ball and control the clock like they did. As you mentioned, they had opportunities. They did move the ball between the 20s. They couldn't get it into the end zone consistently. They did get the big touchdown pass at the end of the ball game, and then they had the went for 2 and the win to continue to run. If they, with Bennett falling down at the 5-yard line, give credit to the Canes making the plays when they had to, finding ways to get it done, sticking together, and believing in each other throughout the night to get this win. And it was a huge win. I mean, they haven't had a home playoff game here since 2008, and this crowd came alive once they got that big touchdown to Harrison to tie this ball game, actually to take the lead after the 2-pointer by Graham, 8-7. And that was really, from that point on, the crowd got into it. The crowd was out of this game for the first 2.5 quarters of this ball game. But the last quarter and a half, the crowd was the 12th man and made a huge difference for Newcastle as they advance to the semifinals.
We'll take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the final scoreboard update and tell you about next week's matchup for the Canes and also give out our awards. You're watching the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
You're looking for quality concrete services? Contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project. Back here on the Tri-County Principals Association postgame show. Final time here tonight as we're going to give you the Newcastle Transit Authority out-of-town scoreboard update and tell you about what is up next for the Hurricanes. So these are games in Class 4A. Newcastle's next opponent is going to be their Parkway Conference rival, Aliquippa, who defeats Trinity tonight 21-14. So they're going to have to go through the Quips again. And the big story in that game tonight was Marcus Council returned to the lineup for Aliquippa. So he is back at quarterback through a game-winning touchdown pass with 19 seconds left as Aliquippa defeats Trinity tonight 21-14. So it's Newcastle and Aliquippa next Friday night for the right to go to the WPIAL Championship in 2 weeks at Pine Richland High School. That title game is scheduled for Saturday afternoon, November 15th at 12:05 in Gibsonia to determine who goes to the state playoffs. And it's going to be Aliquippa and Newcastle next week. McKeesport was rolling tonight over Char Valley. They're in the books with a win. Thomas Jefferson was up. The last report we had, they were up 17-0 on Mars. And presumably they have won that game as well. So it should be TJ and McKeesport next week in the semifinals opposite of Newcastle. Thomas Jefferson did win that game tonight 31-14. So it's going to be TJ and McKeesport and Aliquippa and Newcastle, the final four in 4A football for the WPIAL for 2025. In 2A, good one between Mohawk and Olsh as Mohawk was trailing 14-13. They were going to go for two. They opted to kick the extra point. They are now tied with Olsh at 14 apiece. So that game might be headed for overtime. Keystone Oaks and Elwood City. Elwood City is in control of that one, 35-13. That's late in the fourth quarter. Finals in Single A tonight. Neshannock will play Fort Cherry next week. They beat Leechburg 49-14. Fort Cherry beat Avella 48-14. Laurel beats Jefferson Morgan 35-0. And we still don't have a score on that South Side game to let you know who they're going to play coming up next week, as we'll try to track that down here in the waning moments, and we will give you our awards here in a second. But it could end up being Laurel and Southside once again, as actually Chartiers Houston has knocked out Southside. They win that game tonight 27-21. So Char Houston, the 12 seed, knocks out the 5 seed. There's that 5-12 upset again, always, as they will play Laurel next week for the right to go to the semifinals in Single A. And that's a look at your Newcastle Transit Authority out-of-town scoreboard update. Final time tonight, serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, the Newcastle Transit Authority going your way. Final thing we got to do, final piece of business here tonight. Your Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award tonight. And we're going to give it to Chase Lemon for his 65-yard touchdown catch from Marino Graham. That put him up by a score. After the two-point conversion failed, it was still 14-7. And that was a big play. The Canes needed it at that point. Marino Graham came to life after missing time in this game tonight. So Chase Lemon and Marino Graham are going to be your Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award winners tonight. Maley Chiropractic and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor Chase For his play tonight, he'll get a customized shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's Play of the Game. Tonight's Play of the Game can be viewed online at lcsportsnet.com. Click on Play of the Game. Congratulations to Chase Lemon from Newcastle for tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Our MVP tonight, and look, you could pick from a bunch of these different guys, but we're going to go with Damian Harrison tonight, as he is the recipient of this MVP award primarily for the touchdown catch to put Newcastle ahead. It's actually a touchdown catch that brings it to 7-6. Graham gets a 2-point conversion run. They take the lead 8-7. But it's that touchdown catch that finally gets them on the board tonight for Newcastle. And Damian Harrison then comes back late in the game with the interception, and he picks off Brandon Bennett in the end zone. That stopped a big-time drive for Montour. They go up at that point, or they tie the game at that point. Who knows what happens late in this game. So Damian Harrison's your MVP Insurance MVP of the game winner tonight, and he'll get a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being named tonight's MVP of the game. To view the full list of this year's game MVPs, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on MVP of the game. Congratulations to Damian Harrison for tonight's MVP of the game. MVP Insurance, call MVP for the win. Well, 30 days ago, these two teams met, and it was a blowout win for Newcastle. Tonight it was a 1-point win. Next week, it's going to be about the same time frame between matchups with Aliquippa. They beat Aliquippa for the first time since 1987 back in the regular season. And guess what? They're going to have to do it again if they want to go to the WPIAL final in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the way the bracket is set up is you have to go through the Parkway twice. As simple as that. I mean, that's the way they have it set up. And we're seeing that here tonight. I mean, this was a great matchup between these two schools. It's going to be another terrific matchup next week between Aliquippa and Newcastle on a neutral field. We'll see exactly what happens. But, yeah, what a strides this program has made in 2 seasons and under Coach Mazaka. And they will continue to see how far they can stretch it this season next week when they take on the Quips.
So without Marcus Council, he was thought to be out for a knee injury. Montour and Newcastle both beat Aliquippa this season. Montour scored all 34 points on him in the second half, a little closer of a game for Newcastle, but they beat him for the first time since 1987 behind Marino Graham in that game. 105 rushing, 179 passing. He scored all 3 touchdowns in the win. And, Quippa's been in the playoffs 31 straight years. They're the gold standard when it comes to WPIAL football. Nobody can question that. But it is a historic matchup between these two teams next week in the semifinals of the 4A tournament. And then you go on the other side, and you've got McKeesport and Keemon Spell, who's healthy, and Thomas Jefferson, who basically just said, look, okay, we didn't do what we thought everybody said we were going to do all season long. By the way, we're now in the semifinals again, so they're still there. So Bill Cherpak wins the battle between him and Eric Asperowitz tonight in the coaching matchup. What a set of semifinals in 4A for next week.
I tell you what, there's only 8 teams to make the playoffs, but what it is a packed 8 schools. And it is going to be interesting to see what happens next week. Let's be honest. But, looking at tonight's game, just congratulations to both teams for a well-played game, really was. And to Newcastle getting that first playoff victory in I don't know how many years, but it's been a long time, and congratulations to them. It's something to celebrate. They'll go back to work. Yeah,
2016, I believe, was the last time. So they made it to the WPIAL finals in 98. They're trying to get back there again. One more hill to climb to get to that title game, and they'll have to do it on the road at a neutral site next week against one of their arch rivals, the Aliquippa Quips. And just keep it tuned next week. We're not sure what the coverage plans are going to be, but keep it tuned to the Lawrence County Sports Network. We'll have an update on our coverage plans coming up over the weekend, and then James and I will be back to break it all down on Wednesday night with Beyond the Scoreboard live from our LCAP studios here in Newcastle. For Matt Flannery, for Ashley Pistachio, for all of us here at the Lawrence County Sports Network, congratulations to Newcastle. They won a thriller tonight, an absolute classic here at Taggart Stadium, 14-13 over Montour. And you've been watching all of it live on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is